Okay, so we shall start now. Welcome back, everyone. Woo!
Yeah!
Whoop whoop!
Okay, so last episode we found out three big things. Anarche has three brothers. Felix
Has five big brothers.
has five. No, Anarche has three big brothers. 10 has a large facility where most of the people who are there are all adopted children of his. And the third and final thing that we also found out during this last time was that Asconia is an interesting place, full of not only wintry wonderland-like substances, but also they are quite concerned with strength. That being said, you guys got to the location after a large fight broke out between Rakia, Anarche, Fletcher, and Anarche's eldest brother, Ikaje. When the three of them were fighting, he then spoke to Anarche about something, and then told the rest of them that at some point he and his brothers would return at some point to fight them. He gave Anarche some kind of little pin, and then he then said that he would be off. Once disappearing, you guys got back to Ten's laboratory. He allowed you to stay there, basically sleep for the night, basically have a couple of hours to yourselves. Smithy, for the last basically 10 hours, has been studying Lily, Felix's wife, to make sure exactly what exactly is happening to her powers, and also happening to her. During this time, Felix, you've spent most of your time with your children and their grandparents, your in-laws. Anarche, you have been reading your book and you've read it for about 2 hours. Aldous, you have figured out an issue with poor Fletcher's eye, and you have come up with a solution. You have given him using your abilities, you have taken some blood from Rakia and infused it into a chunk of what was the paperweight made out of animite. You infused it with a special ability where instead of giving someone super dex and intelligence and wisdom from this, you actually made it that it would actually be able to give someone just sight and wisdom. However, in the accordance with these downsides, removing 2 factors of the power, it's passive and it can activate in front of or inside of someone's eye or eye socket. And therefore you have made a special green glowing prosthetic eye made out of animite and given it to Fletcher. Fletcher, you now have a functioning secondary eye, but you also have this eye has also given you super wisdom. It's taken you your 2 hours to sort of get used to it, but after some time of adjustment, you think that you're pretty much okay with it. It's come to about like 8-10 hours later. You've had your downtime. You've had your rest. Rakia is looking around the facility and sort of saying that she's going off and having a look at whatever, and sort of like she's being taken on a tour by one of the supposed children of 10, and as they're sort of like wandering around the halls, we now come to the rest of the party meeting up with Felix, as basically Smithy has come over to all of you at some point during the morning and just said, okay, it's now time for us to discuss what's happening with Lily. You can either come with me to meet up with me and Felix, or you can stay back. Upon doing so, he returns. He says that he's going to return to one of the rooms where there's a bit more privacy, and just sort of waits for all of you there. Who goes in search of Smithy in this meeting?
No one, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
I mean, I might go just to see what he does to Lily, so I can learn more about Animite in that regard.
Okay.
That might be the only reason I'm there, because I don't really know Lily.
No, that's fair. And RK, what about yourself?
I don't really have any reason to go, so
Fair.
he'll probably pass.
Fletcher?
I mean, it's not my wife, so no.
You're a fucking terrible friends.
Wow.
Oh,
Aldous,
Well,
no. You've said your piece. Aldous,
fair.
you and Felix meet up in this room with Smithy as he's sort of just like sat down and is just sort of waiting for you guys to take a seat as well. In this like little room, there's like it's almost like a little cafeteria room. There's sort of like a little break room almost. As he just goes, so I had to check over. Had to run some tests, make sure that everything was fine. It's just as serious as I thought. Her powers seem to be creating a malnourishment within all of her body. She's going into multiple organ failures. As a matter of fact, it's a concoction of all of the different substances here that's actually keeping her alive. Speechless.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, she isn't beyond saving. The problem is that what has happened to her is seemingly almost indefinite. One would need to not only reverse her powers, but one would also need to make sure that her body keeps into a strong rehabilitation program.
Could we not just ask her for her powers and then use biological manipulation to heal her?
Are you stupid? I'm pretty sure if that was a possibility, Felix wouldn't have asked me to come all of this way. You can't just simply ask someone to take their powers, especially when they are in a comatose state. Isn't that right?
Yes.
By the judging... What?
That's on with telepathy. Could we not just ask her that way?
No one here has it.
That is fair.
See, the issue with a lot of your kind, our kind, is that most of us think that our abilities are on the surface level. We have to steal and ask for permission. We have to take from the dead and make sure that others are tricked into believing that they can no longer need their powers. That's where I come in. I discovered about 20 years ago I could do some things with people's powers that not many people understood. However, as I said, whatever I do to her, her body is going to need some kind of rehabilitation program. Either that or she's gonna need a new set of entire organs. Muscle, tissue, everything.
Well, I could help with that.
And you have the possibility of doing so?
Indeed.
How?
And I point to one of the gems, which is now a different color than it was before, because I joined two of the animite gems together to make a double stone of nature and biological manipulation.
He just looks at you because again he doesn't know what exactly it is because he doesn't recognize the color. It's like, right. So what does that do?
He can't hear the sounds.
No, you can't hear the sounds.
We're not part of your religion, though.
Exactly. It's just
We don't
all holding
believe in
hands.
your poppycock.
Felix is also probably just staring at you, not knowing what you're going on about.
Oh, this is a biological manipulation and nature stone. It can allow us to regenerate the organs and heal.
I know what it does. Okay. I might be able to get something to work with it if you're willing to lend it to me.
Of course.
In that case, I might be able to do this thing. First is what I'm going to have to need. I've already got everything that I have, but I will be altering her powers indefinitely. Because her body is weakened and so is her mind, it is possible for me to alter the way that her powers are indefinitely and reverse them back to the way that they should be. This will be a permanent procedure, and there's no guarantee that it will definitely save her from the after effects of which her powers have already forced upon her. But, at the very least, I can give her a fighting chance. But considering, I'm going to need permission from you.
I'll take any chance we have.
That's more than enough for me. Alright. Whatever your name is, I'm gonna need that stone.
If it also helps, this is and he points to another one on his crown. A time stopper one. This might help.
You were able to get this?
Yeah,
No.
I'm afraid the man.
I should be fine. Just with the biokinesis.
He just gives the crown over anyway because he doesn't want to.
He just removes the one that you pointed at and then gives you back the whole crown.
Okay.
Little too gaudy for my taste.
Do you want to hear about the grand religion of anime?
No.
Not.
He then gets up and he walks out. He goes on over to the room that has Lily in it. Does anyone follow him?
I will.
I mean, yeah, unless directed not to.
Fair enough. He doesn't seem to say anything. He just gets up and walks out, and then seems to go straight, make a beeline straight for her room. He then gets in and sort of stands beside her. Alright, first off, we're gonna have to remove these dampening cuffs. He removes, using the key that was given to him by 10, these special nullifying cuffs that are on both of her wrists. Her arms are incredibly bony. It looks as though she has been starved for weeks, if not months. Alright then, let's give this a shot. He then places his hand on her head. And then suddenly a glowing comes from the back of his hand as it goes through down to his fingers and begins entering this glowing light begins entering into her skin on her forehead, and then it begins to sort of go down through the veins of her face. As then suddenly it looks as though she begins seizing. as she begins shaking and shuddering. Her hands sort of like clasped around her. Her hands clasped into fists with what strength that she must have left.
I will gently grab Felix's arm because no doubt he's going to attempt to do something here.
You want me to roll nerve?
Yes, I would like you to roll nerve, yeah.
Okay.
With that, we have the first roll of the day.
It's a 22.
Ooh, 22, okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm already at max, but I'll
Yeah.
put that D10 in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll just needlessly just put probably just gently wraps his arm around your arm to hold you back, even though you're not going to do anything.
You feel his
Just in
very
case.
toned muscles.
You feel his bulging muscle. No, yeah, well, you do. But,
I think now I know why he's called Big Daddy Felix.
fuck's sake. Anyway, so yeah, you're holding him back, but you're making sure that he doesn't go anywhere. But then you actually realize there's zero resistance. As Felix, you don't look back at the guy who's holding you because you're too focused on, obviously, keeping an eye on what's happening with your wife. But more so that you're I know whatever this is, I have to believe in what he's doing because otherwise, otherwise there's no other alternative. No other alternative has brought itself to me. I have no other options. So I'm going to continue watching and see if what this guy is doing has actually any purpose or if this is needlessly hurting her. Either way, I'm not going to move because I don't want to distract him in case if I do worse. So you're feeling all of this pressure, and you're building it up, and you sort of push it back down because no matter how hard this might be, you know that as long as you stay calm, you won't make anything any worse.
Can I see what he's actually doing?
Felix accidentally transforms because he's focusing so hard on staying calm.
You can. I mean, as I said, Sam, you already see what is happening. Again, some kind of energy from
to see and understand what he's doing.
It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I mean, you can roll me a power knowledge.
I shall try. Just because there's also the reason that I have no idea who this guy is. So how am I supposed to know if he's actually on the level?
Let's see. You have no idea what is happening here. He is doing something. Whatever he's doing, he's using his powers. Apparently he has the same powers as you, but you've never seen this being done. As she continuously violently shakes, the energy continues to go down her skin until it reaches also her hands. Her entire body begins to bulk up slightly as her body begins to start filling out until eventually you realise that it's not just filling out, it's actually increasing in muscle mass. As when he's sort of doing this, you then see the light from his hand is actually getting greater and greater until eventually you actually hear her hands clasping in a way in which she sort of reaches out and grabs part of the bed, and then it just breaks in her hands. As she's doing this, you can see that she's gritting her teeth until she eventually lets out a massive blood-curdling scream. Felix, I need you to roll me another nerve.
Okay.
I'll let you roll it with advantage.
Alright. Probably won't be necessary.
Only because you did so well last time.
Yeah. Should I just put 2d20 or...
Yeah, 2d20 plus 5, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, very mid. Yeah.
15.
It's harder to do so, but you are keeping somewhat calm. But I want to point this out. This is actually still quite painful for you because this is the first time that you've actually heard her voice in almost a year. And the fact that she's screaming is even worse. Until eventually, her screams die down. the light begins to remove itself from her feet, going up and up and up and up until eventually it just gets to the top of her head from where his hand is placed. And then the hand begins to dim in its glow as he then removes it. Her body slowly shrinks down, and it seems as though the strength in her body leaves her. Alright. Now for the others. He then grabs the stone that was given to him by Aldous, and he then begins to sort of wave it over her body as it begins to glow very brightly. As when he does this, he says, I don't know if you'd have any idea of even knowing, but I'm actually quite proficient in using biokinetic stones. So it's actually quite a coincidence that you so happened to bring me one for this procedure. He then finishes, and her body seems to, again, fill out a bit, as it seems as though her, like a regular amount of her biomass returns. Her skin now looks filled in a bit more. She's no longer like skin and bone. There actually seems to be flesh underneath the skin, and she's, you know, once he's finished, she seems to look at peace, but she is definitely breathing. All right. Well, weirdly enough, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I just basically did about 2 years worth of rehab in about less than 20 seconds. Why the long faces, guys? I just saved your wife. He then throws the stone back over to Aldous. Aldous, roll me a dex. Finesse,
damn you.
if you have it. Actually, no. Finesse regardless.
I don't have finesse. I don't have any dex.
What do you even have minus in?
I do have minus one. I think it's just +1. All of my stats are very meh. 17!
That's fine.
All this is like, there's like, show some respect to Anime.
You catch it in such a great way.
Just like, and then just plugs it back in, like, disapproving dad look.
He then just says, like, well, you're welcome, Felix. Honestly, it's nice to do some good for a change. But yeah, she'll need a little bit more rest and recuperation. But she should be up on her feet in the next week or two.
Felix will nod. He probably just goes back to looking at his wife while just sitting there in silence.
We'll leave you be. Besides, the last thing you want to do is having the first person that she lays her eyes on is anyone else but you. He then grabs Aldous by his shoulder and then just turns him around and goes, "We're leaving." It's just like Aldous is escorted out by Smithy. The door closes behind itself. Felix, you are left alone in this room with your wife.
Woo.
As we come back to Anarche. Anarche, you've had a rest. You've basically had your breakfast. You've been sort of like doing whatever you're doing. Are you sort of roaming around, or are you just sort of staying in one place?
I imagine he's just staying in one place. At the moment, I imagine he's just gotten some pen and paper and just writing down any new discoveries he's found from the book.
Fair enough.
And then once he's done with that, he'll just like open up a small portal and throw it through to the librarian's desk.
Yeah, fair enough. After that, sort of when you just finished doing that, Fletcher, you walk in to see Anarche just sort of throwing the letter through a portal and then it closing behind it.
Informing the library of your discoveries?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too interesting at the moment, but...
It's one of the tales of Animite. Surely it has something interesting.
Maybe. Haven't gone to that part yet, though.
I guess it's true what they say. A book is only as useful as the one who wields it.
I don't know
That's
if
a common phrase, or...
I don't know if that's insulting or not, based on the way that you worded that.
Fletcher just looks puzzled, like, wait, did I mix up my allegory again?
No, it doesn't matter.
Or is it a book is only useful to those who need it? Anyway, what are
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I got this new eye from Aldous. It's amazing what his abilities can do. He's been telling me about Animite and all of its prophecies and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting when you sit down and listen.
Well, he sure goes on about it. I'll give him that.
Yeah. I mean, if he could break up those stories into bite-sized chunks and maybe, like, write them down, I'd be more interested in... But I do owe him as much for giving me my sight back, so I'm willing to lend it here.
By the way, this is the first time, Anarche, that you've actually seen this. In his deeply scarred right eye, he has in its socket just a glowing green rock.
Of course, I'm gonna have to thank Rakia. She also put a little bit of herself into this.
Oh, right, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think he said it was a husk stone that he modified. So I can only assume that my master's helped out with that.
Well, probably. Could be someone else, but that's a safe assumption to make.
Yeah. I owe a lot to her. But enough about me. What are your plans for today?
Yeah, don't really have any, to be honest.
I guess we're just waiting on Felix then.
Yeah, I think so. Well, at this point anyway.
You then just see the door in the room that you're in open up, as you just see Smithy still holding the shoulder of Aldous. Hey, guys!
Hey, Smithy!
He then just finally
go?
lets go of Aldous. Well, the surgery was a complete success, and thanks to this old one over here, the recovery and recuperation will be dashed by about, I'd say about 98 to 99.8%.
And Aldous like looks to Fetcher and say, "See, Animite leads us all to better successes."
No,
led
powers
us-
and understanding how they work
Exactly.
leads us to greater success.
But think of it like this: it led me to this group. This group led me to you. This led us to Lisa. If it wasn't for Animite leading me to the group, it would have been a far longer time to heal her, perhaps never. But it did.
Nope. See it however you'd like. Either way, just accept the compliment.
Spencer goes over and is like,
Speaking of which...
Smithy, I can't thank you enough for helping out Felix.
I didn't do it for you, but speaking of things that are being done for people, looks as though you got a cool new eye.
Oh yeah. It's a joint effort. Thanks again, Aldous.
No worries for my first acolyte.
And Smithy just sits down opposite Anarche. So, what's the next plan, boss?
I'm not quite sure why you're calling me that. And I'm not quite sure you see might have any plans at the moment.
Well, considering that you're probably the most closest thing to transport around here, I assume that you had some reason as to why you'd keep me around after me doing this particular procedure.
Not really. I mean, you're free to do what you want, to be honest.
Huh. Well, in that case, I think I'm gonna go. I don't think that there's any reason for me to be kept here anyway, so... Doesn't really need to be a problem, right? I mean, unless if anyone else needs me for something? No? Okay.
No, think you're good to go.
Well...
I assume you can make your own way back with that stone of yours.
You Animon children never leave anything to the surprise, do you?
What
difficult,
Nightstone? Because my internet cut off there, so I might not have heard what he was talking. What it was.
No, you don't exactly know what he's talking about, but suppose...
I mean, I would hear it.
It's funny that you bring this up. You don't.
Is it a void stone?
No.
Is it animite?
You're talking about this, aren't you? And he then pulls out from his pocket. You again hear nothing until it suddenly you just hear. Roll me willpower.
Okay.
You hear the opening to God of War.
Which one?
The newest one, Ragnarok. Why not?
Does God of War want to be? I shall kill you all!
Felix
Yeah.
is Kratos just grunting.
Anyway, yeah, you hear that. What'd you get on your willpower save?
I got a 15.
I'd say that's enough. Yeah, that's more than enough. Basically, it is.
Can I roll to see if I know what it is?
Again, that's power knowledge.
No, it'd be. I know that one. I know that melody. I think it's a puzzle, isn't it?
Yes. What do you roll for it though?
Apostle, I think.
Okay. You're not quite
I guess.
exactly sure on this because you've never wielded this specific stone before. But you have heard a melody similar to this. It might have something to do with... It might have something to do with spatial. It might. But to you, the weirdest part about it was the fact that you didn't hear it until it was removed from his pocket. Yeah. I have this to get around. So, you were able to sense it despite the fact of it being in here. He then points to the inside pocket.
I mean, is there anything special of that pocket, or...?
Well, he then tucks it back inside. You can still sense it. Usually I have a way in which I can cloak the abilities, but it's mostly because certain people can activate power stones. I don't like the idea of people being able to sense it. I guess I never really cloaked it against specifically Animon children. Huh. Oh well. You win some, you lose some.
How did you manage to do that? Because I couldn't even hear it.
Well, it's more like I just programmed my coat to have it that most things wouldn't be able to be touched by other superpower manipulation. And I also was able to cloak it against most detection-based powers. Although I've never had my hands on an Animon Child Stone, which would probably make sense as to why.
It's not a power that I have been gifted with. He just kind of goes closer and like trying to see if he can hear it, even though it's still probably unhearable.
He then just sort of like pushes you away a bit. It's like, alright, personal space, personal space.
But how did you do that?
Again, it's just something that I picked up from understanding my powers. You can hear things even though it's not necessarily your power.
Oh yes. I have been gifted by Animite, as I said. I am its acolyte. It has shown me many things, and I've heard many more. And he still is kind of like, essentially, he's kind of like walking around him, just kind of to even get even a single tingle of noise.
Anyway, as he keeps looking at you suspiciously, do you guys have any particular plans, considering this is now, I guess, done? What, do you have, some great thing to do? I mean, you guys are part of that tournament, after all.
Maybe we can
Well,
see
from
if
the lack
there's
of
any-
anyone's... No, go on, Fletcher.
I keep doing this. I'm sorry. Maybe we could see if there's any legendary beasts around. Kind of like why we were in the Land of the Sunken Moon.
There's only a couple that I've ever heard of, one of which is the Grand Yeti, but honestly, you guys are so strong, I doubt that there'd be any point. I mean, if you're able to go toe-to-toe against Yol Kiger, almost any opponent is going to feel pretty damn small in comparison.
Guess that's true, although can't really say I'm interested in that right now, but depends what everyone else is doing.
Well, it seems as though everyone else is either staring at me or being silent.
That's the usual
Maybe,
here.
maybe it's just a time for some relaxation. Just explore the town.
You eventually sort of get this point where Smithy is just like, well, I should probably let you know that even though I've not got much else to do, I'm probably gonna have people hunting me down. So I either need to get the hell away from you, or you guys need to get the hell away from me. Considering you're probably going to be in a lot of danger, but also I doubt that you really want to be, defending my ass.
I mean, you did us a great service. I wouldn't mind throwing my life away.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
See, the kid gets it. We now come back to Felix. Felix, you've been in this room for about 20-30 minutes. By the side of Lily.
Correct, yes.
Are you sat down by her? Have you what are you currently doing?
Just probably sitting at the bedside, just deep in thought. Partly about the fact that, I'm later gonna have to track down this guy that just saved my wife to go kill him.
Fair enough. Eventually, you notice something. You could have sworn that you see your wife's hand just twitch, just move on its own.
Okay.
Not long after, it begins to move again. As you notice, her eyes begin sort of twitching and twinging as well.
I think Felix will go to hold the hand between you, like clasp it between his two hands, just gently. I know he's a big meaty fella.
Big
It's
boy.
like,
Yeah, eventually...
just being gentle.
Eventually, she sort of twitches and her eyes sort of open up very slowly. As she looks around the room with a sort of hazed and glass-eyed look until eventually she looks over at you, leaning over her. Her eyes seem to come back into focus, and she sees, standing over her, Felix. She then says, Is that you, Felix?
Yes, love. It's me.
You didn't cut your hair.
It passed my mind after all.
She then looks over at the glowing arm tattoo. You've been up to a lot recently.
A lot of time has passed.
How are my babies?
They're doing well.
Good. What happened? Where are I?
God, my brain. Felix, for the sake of me not knowing shit, will explain
Fair.
where we are and what's happening.
You explain that you're in biotech labs in Husconia. The kids are in another room along with her parents, and you explain that it has been around about a year since she slipped into this coma.
I think Felix would also explain the fact that there is a tournament going on, and it's like the world's in chaos, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Just, it's good to make sure she knows everything that is going on.
Fair. Yeah, so you tell her that. And she continues just listening to what you say, continues sort of watching the words, and her eyes continue to sort of widen until eventually, like, you finish, telling her this. She looks, shocked and obviously concerned. But she then says, You did all of this just for me.
Of course.
She then just says, Don't get me wrong. I love that you did that. But you are an idiot. With a smile on her face.
Well, I'm your idiot.
As you then hear a knock at the door. And I want to point out this door is made of metal. And you hear a knock on it.
Felix will stand up and go to get the door.
The door opens, and you just see, standing with his arms behind his back, 10. Hello, Felix. I have just heard the great news that your wife has had the procedure. He then sort of looks over to the side and sees her. And she's awake. I would like to perform a diagnosis myself, if you don't mind.
Felix will nod, as long as it's okay with her. Looks over to Lily.
She then says, I'm assuming that this is the man who has taken us in.
Yes.
Then how can I refuse? It's wonderful to see that you're awake, Miss Fatigue. Ironically enough, your body does seem to have rejected a lot of the downs of the powers. Your body will still need to clear itself of most of the toxins, but you're looking in perfectly good health. Over the last year, your body mass has been deteriorating and your organs have been failing. However, in a single swoop of less than 10 minutes, someone was able to completely reject all of those problems and immediately disregard every possible law of science and biology. Thanks to this, they were able to heal you into a recovery that I can only state is miraculous. The knowledge that has been shared is minimal, but the results speak for themselves. I will only need to take a sample of blood, and of course just check your reflexes, as well as how your body is reacting. Fletcher is also at a bit of an issue, though, Felix. He's recently taken on a piece of, how can I say, animite, and I'm sure that you know what this means.
My brain does not, but I'm sure Felix does.
Aldous has the ability of superpower manipulation, which would mean there are two candidates in this facility.
Oh no.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Felix will nod. It's best not to talk about this stuff in front of his wife.
Now, whilst your husband goes to fetch the tea, as I'm sure that you must be thirsty, I'm going to administer some of these tests immediately. They won't take long. Thank you, Felix. Sorry to usher you out in such a tender time, but time is of the essence.
Felix will nod, take like a look back at his wife.
She smiles at you. Again, not knowing really any of the connotations of whatever is being said here.
Yeah, Felix will smile back, but his smile's probably a little slightly worried look, but he's trying to hide. And he'll leave to go get the tea.
You continue walking down the hall until eventually you hear from one of the rooms a large amount of like elevated like noise and like quite loud talking from what it sounds to be like Smithy, and also what seems to be Fletcher and Aldous, because they seem to be talking about like something to do with like, oh, whatever Felix chooses when he gets back. Smithy is like, oh well, you know, I guess I need to figure out exactly what I'm doing here. I am going to probably be hunted down if I don't go. And then Aldous just saying like, how did you do it? Why can't I hear? It's beautiful noise. And you hear that all coming from a room.
I'm hesitant to enter the room. Another potential target. God. I think. Have there been like any like status updates on like mission stuff in like the group text thing between Tendra and Felix?
No, not at all.
No. Okay. Until that updates, Felix won't like do anything rash. But they'll go in, and if there's like a tea making area, like a tea setup, you'll start preparing some tea.
Yeah, okay. You sort of wander into that room. They don't see. They're all talking, and they just sort of immediately notice you.
Can I roll stealth?
I mean, it's the only door in the room. Roll stealth, and everyone roll wisdom, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, would we have disadvantage considering we're all too busy paying attention to each other?
I think the only person who wouldn't be rolling disadvantage in this particular case would be an Arche.
Also, another question: would I be passively would I be transformed at this point?
Well,
considering most of the time he does spend most of his time in that form.
Considering you were asleep, I'd say probably not.
Fair enough.
Well, I got a 7.
I got.
I'll just.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention.
What?
I got 16.
What's with you guys and freeze?
Oh shoot! Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you sort of like go in there, and he's sort of like doing some stuff. He's sort of preparing some stuff. You don't know it's Felix, but you notice someone going in to the room. You don't look directly at them, but you notice someone is in the room with you guys. Everyone else, you don't know that someone else is in this room.
He's a gentle giant, very quiet, you know. Should I do like survival for making tea or?
I guess yeah, survivalist, yeah, roll survivalist to make
Yeah.
tea. Yeah.
Cool. Tea is made.
Some good ass tea.
Damn. We all just
Oh,
turn
they
our
call it,
heads, smelling delicious tea.
Ooh, tea.
I think Felix will make sure to make enough just in case the horde of people at the other side of the room decide.
Fletcher is behind you. He smells tea.
Yeah, you make the tea, and then you sort of begin to sort of like carry it away. Everyone roll me a wisdom. Again, I guess roll stealth, Felix, again.
Cool.
Is this disadvantage or advantage?
Regular.
Disadvantage or normal?
Regular. So you got a 20.
I mean, don't forget, you got +8 or whatever because you got
Yeah,
super
sorry.
wisdom.
So none of you really notice until eventually, like, Fletcher, you see Felix walking out, and you know it's Felix this time. Like, you know the person who's walked in, made tea, and like walking out is Felix.
Oh, Felix is making tea. I wonder if he's doing something.
He's making tea. What do you think he's doing?
Yes, but is he making tea for himself? Because would I have noticed there was multiple tea?
With a 26, you definitely notice that there is a large teapot and at least two cups. But you notice that, like, at first he hesitates as to whether or not to get a third cup. Do you get... The question really is, Felix, do you get a third cup?
I think Felix would.
Okay.
I'm sure Lily would probably want to talk to Ten about the situation.
Okay. So... yeah, you get a third cup. You notice this, Fletcher. And then he just walks out because nobody says anything to him, and he just continues to walk out of the room.
Huh. He's really stealthy for a man of his size. No, nothing. Just thinking out loud.
Yeah, okay.
So, what are we doing? What are you What are your plans, Smithy? Are you gonna go straight home, or do you want us to keep an eye on you for a bit?
Oh, it doesn't really matter too much to me. I mean, as long as I get the hell away from this place. No offense, but it's starting to give me the creeps. Have you not noticed how weird it is that nobody works here. Yet there's a lot of people who live here.
I mean, I think they're all family here. From what I remember Tendra saying, she said that she has a lot of siblings.
Right.
So it would make sense that this is Ten's house. His kids are here.
I don't trust it. As we now come back to Felix. Felix, you get back into the room. She's sitting up, her legs dangling off the side of the bed as he's basically just like finished sort of checking her blood pressure, checking her reaction on her knees, and then also just checking her eyes and ears. You seem to be perfectly in good health. It's good to see that. However, I wouldn't rush yourself. Not for at least another couple of days. I would suggest you stay in bed. However, that doesn't mean that we can't at least see if you are able to eat or drink. Ah, Felix, you have returned. Come, take a seat.
Felix will go over, set the tray of tea down like the bedside table,
Yes.
and then take a seat.
Your wife is in good health and good condition, but she'll need to stay in bed for a couple of days. Once she has finished her recuperation, you are still safe to stay here if you need, or you can return to your own home. You have shown me more than I need of this interesting development. But of course, I could never knowingly let you out into the world if this is the danger of this new world. Perhaps we could wait until the tournament is over, my friend.
Felix will nod. It's very fair. Obviously, I think it doesn't come down to just me. I feel the rest of the family should know of the situation.
If it's as dangerous as you say it is, perhaps maybe we should. If you don't mind, Doctor. I don't mind at all, dear. Besides, it's always good to keep your friends close, especially in times of great danger. And your husband has done more for me than I can count. So, of course, you are both able to stay here, along with the children and your parents, of course. Felix, there is one thing that I do need to ask of you, however. I would prefer that we speak about it in private, but of course, it's up to you.
Felix will look at Lily. Do you mind if we excuse ourselves for a moment?
Of course not. Is everything all right?
Everything should be.
It's just a matter of something that happened yesterday. He was rather concerned, and of course I wanted to make sure that he was okay. He ran into some trouble yesterday when he was trying to get here. But of course I've sorted it out. I just needed to clear up some details with him. He'll be back momentarily. The two of you leave the room, and you stand in the hallway. The door closes behind both of you. Now, you know what I'm going to ask you, don't you?
Felix will nod. My brain, out of game. It's foggy, but I have my inklings.
Which one is it going to be, Felix?
I feel we'll have an easier time going for the newest arrival to the party, considering there within our sights. Though, if possible, if we can devise a way as to hide my form, just any way to make them not know it's me. I think that might be preferred.
I'm afraid that that's not going to be an easy possibility. However, there is something that I also have a bit of an issue with. Smithy was able to do this particular ability and technique under my roof, but yet no one actually saw anything. Obviously, we don't have any particular cameras set up, so we don't have any recorded information, nor has he shared his secrets with any of us. So we're stuck. We don't exactly know where, why, or even how he can use this ability.
Perhaps we can try to convince Aldous to maybe keep close to Smithy, try to learn a few things, and then get it out of him.
He's incredibly paranoid. I only had a small conversation with him, and it already shows that he doesn't exactly trust people, let alone ones with his own abilities. Tendra also informed me that he said as much as well.
True.
Either way, the time to strike is soon. We cannot let either of them slip out of our fingers, let alone both of them. You must make a choice. Quite frankly, I would prefer Smithy, but if Aldous is easier, I do not see a problem with that either.
Pixel nod.
Nevertheless, the decision must come from you.
Understood. I will get back to you as soon as I can on my decision. I know
Very
time's
well.
of the essence.
Just remember, our agreement is very important to me. I cannot guarantee the safety of everyone, especially when these two individuals seem very hell-bent on doing what they do, which could be a possible danger for my family. Just remember that, Fletcher. No, damn it!
Fletcher is there with a cup of tea.
Just remember that, Felix.
Yes.
He then walks away.
Felix will go back into the room with Lily, and then they'll just chat.
Okay.
Like, you know, how the kids been doing, how are the in-laws, that sort of thing.
Fast.
Just catch up, you know.
Fair enough. We come back to you guys, just sort of sitting there. Smithy just sort of going like, "I'm telling you, the world is crazy, but even crazier, the fact that it's getting crazier. You know."
Well, this tournament doesn't help.
That's what I mean. That Stilton Maximilian guy, he bothers me.
Do you know much about him?
Do I know much about him? I'm a paranoid who doesn't really like other people with the same abilities as me. Of course I know a lot about him. The dude has a large amount of money, made most of his money by the factor of his incredibly innovative animatology, being able to create a massive network even greater than the internet, known as the subnet. Entirely powered by animatology, impossible to destroy via electricity or even shortage, thanks to it being 100% waterproof. The connection and the speeds are instantaneous, as well as incredibly strong. He was able to make so much money that he became the world's richest man, and eventually devised a tournament with all of the money and land that he owns. The guy has made contracts with contractors to contract contractors. I mean, this guy has secrets inside of his secrets, surrounded by more secrets. But there's one thing that he always keeps on his sleeve, and that is his love for combat and power usage. So yeah, I'd say that the guy's a little odd, a little strange, but a hell of a lot dangerous. Nobody actually knows where he is, and even more, if it's true, nobody even knows how he got his hands on a miracle stone. Or sorry, the miracle stone, if you believe the legends.
Oh yeah, I remember one of the champions saying that, the wizard champion.
You mean the sorcerer's champion?
Oh yeah, that's it. I get her confused with someone else.
Either way, a lot of people found out pretty quickly. I'd say about a week or two ago. Yeah. The fact that this thing exists is dangerous enough.
Heck, if half the stories are true about it, then... Phew. We definitely don't want to get it in the wrong hands.
It supposedly gives anyone who wields it godlike power, and then also the ability to grant one person a perfect wish. Whatever it is, for some reason Stilton doesn't care about using it, but using it as a prize. So that's one thing. Some believe that he's already used it already. Hell, I mean, this seems like his greatest wish.
Definitely feels like it. Just the way he's just completely regarded all rules of any nation. Just, yep, there's a worldwide tournament. Go nuts.
There's another reason why you guys don't get attacked on the streets that often. Not many people want to be fighting people who actually have relatively a certain amount of diplomatic immunity. As long as you don't directly attack citizens, and as long as the fight was instigated by a citizen, you're pretty much free to do most of whatever you want.
Well, if you have no morals, that is.
Well, most people claim to have them, but most people show that that's not entirely true. He then looks over at Anake. Why so glum?
No reason. Just don't have much to add.
By the way, what's with the letter next to you?
No. Yeah, it's just information. Nothing too interesting.
The thing is, you sort of like, you know, play that off as like as if it's nothing, and then immediately realize, hang on a second, I just put that in a portal. That should be on the other side of the world right now.
I pick it up and double check it just to make sure it's the one that I...
It's definitely the one that you wrote and the one that you sent.
Oh! I remember now.
Got the barrier up, yeah, it won't work.
You then just hear a voice from behind the other three as Ten walks in. Yes, a special spatial dimensional barrier, making sure that people do not leave or enter unannounced.
I'll just post it later.
I apologise for the inconvenience.
Sorry.
I apologise for the inconvenience. However, I have noticed that most of you are here, so I thought that I'd ask. Now that Lily, or should I say Miss Fatigue, is now better, what exactly are you and your compatriots hoping to do or accomplish?
Me personally, I'm just gonna see where the wind takes me.
where the wind takes you.
No one has
Yeah.
a plan, is basically the answer.
Yes, it sounds like that, doesn't it?
Be careful, or the wind might take you into Felix's fist.
Perhaps,
Oh no!
perhaps Animite should give me another vision when I sleep tonight. And it can lead us somewhere.
My questioning really is, what exactly are your goals here?
Very
Well,
deep,
so far
as you
as-
can. Yeah.
Well, Anemone
Yes,
child,
very.
why don't you answer first then?
Because I don't want to. I would have answered otherwise.
Or perhaps you don't have a goal.
Maybe.
What about yourself then, Mr. Motatame?
Maybe I should start getting more invested in the tournament.
Maybe you should.
Like, I keep hemorrhaging points.
Yes, it doesn't seem like as if you are on much of a win streak with those points. As a matter of fact, the last time I saw you earlier yesterday, you actually had 1,000. So you are 50% poorer.
Yeah. I just keep seeming to get into fights that, aren't to my advantage. No, that won't stop me from trying to improve myself to one day maybe be able to win a fight.
Well, if you're interested in any decent fighters, there are a few from this country.
Yeah.
And what
Any you
about-
recommend, personally?
Oh, well, actually, yes. There's about 3. Quad Via, who is known as the world-renowned martial artist champion, as well as one of the greatest martial artists of our generation. You then have a man claimed to be known as the Cold Sorcerer, Yodonze. And finally, you then have Frigga Smirt, one of the strongest of our generation. Yet again, he is quite powerful, but he is the most recent to be considered a great and strong fighter. Only one of these are non-Hasconian. However, he perfected his craft here in Hasconia.
Well, I better get out there. I know a little bit about the Great Master of Martial Arts, but I don't know much about the other 2.
I will say not many people often see Quadvia, as he often darts in and out of different places. But the usual places that you could find Frigga Smirt or even Yodonze are kind of a little bit more pinpointed.
What about you, Dante? Where could I find him?
Yodonze is often found in all sorts of different locations that are considered based on the Great Asconian Underground. A large underworld that is almost identical to this city, but about 2 kilometers beneath it. An entire city beneath this one. Identical, but not much of the snow gets under. In fact, it's a lot warmer down there. Although, most people would say that only the law-abiding citizens would stay away from there. The darkest of the depths, and those who have quite a disdain for the law-filled world would often go there. It is a dangerous place, is the best way of putting it.
Well, danger always seems to find us. Maybe I should go to the danger for a change.
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I'll probably head there.
And what about yourself, Aldous?
Hmm?
You seem to be interested in Animite, quite frankly. You're obsessed with it. But it seems to have given you quite an insight into the things of which I would normally consider a tool. What is
It
it
is not a
exactly?
tool.
What is it exactly that you are wanting? Especially with this group. I would have honestly thought that you wouldn't have even been considered interested in this group.
This is what was the anime showed me. It showed me this group. And thus, I came to this group. There must be some reason beyond that.
You keep telling yourself that.
Do you wish to hear the anime that you so
Not at
apparently know
all.
about?
Well, if you're wanting to go, you probably should take Felix. His family is welcome to stay here, and after all, everything else must come first, especially if you're still part of this tournament. My daughter has been getting quite a reputation for herself, but she has spoken to me a few things, especially as of recent, of the great powerhouses that are currently being placed in the power vacuum that your team recently opened up. After the defeat of Yolkaiga, new contenders have been coming to the ranks. Nevertheless, I look forward to seeing exactly what you accomplish. So, what does everyone want to do?
Don't mind me. I'm just plotting.
Does it look like a good time to tell Fletcher about? Does it look like he'd be interested in the good tales of anime?
I mean, it looks more like Fletcher is wanting to do something.
I know, but it could lead to the great tales of anime.
Well, an arcade already has the tales of the Arnamite.
I mean, that is true.
An arcade leaves before he gets grabbed into religious stuff. He gets fresh air.
Where
He gets
exactly
pulled
are you leaving to?
I don't think he has anywhere in mind. I think he is honestly just kind of... At this point, he just wants to be out and about moving his body, but he doesn't really have a purpose to it, so he's literally just he's just wandering in the whatever direction is in front of him, basically.
Fair enough. Smithy just heads on along with you. I'm just sort of following you along for a bit. So, where are you going?
Don't know. Somewhere.
Somewhere. Okay. Gotcha.
Yep. Yes, sorry, I'm not exactly in the most conversational mood right now. If that's what you're looking for, I'd recommend I'm not your best company for that.
Why is it that you're not in a conversational mood?
Do I have to explain everything?
Well, considering that I've barely ever known too much about you, you seem to have a large amount of mystery behind you, and also I didn't exactly see you guys that much. I was in, I don't know, a giant void space of whiteness and a suspicious body inside of it, along with Felix for about an hour. So, yeah, I kind of want to know at least some of the gaps of the knowledge of which that I may have missed.
No, yeah, there's a body in there.
Yes, a Huskonian girl's body.
No, I didn't put that in there. That's weird.
Okay. Either way, what's eating at you?
Oh, a lot. A lot I really don't know if I care to explain about to you. No offense, I have only just met you.
Fair. However, I also left my own home in the danger of potentially being killed multiple times in the last less than 24 hours. At the very least, we might as well try to get along. Hey?
Well, I'm questioning my current existence at the moment. Wondering what the point of anything to do. Wondering why I even bother to fight. So, I'm currently going on to a walk, so maybe figure some things out.
Well, let me tell you something. If you start questioning your own existence, it's gonna start feeling a little bit, well, like a pit that you'll never get out of. I mean, look at me.
Well, I've done the impossible before.
Okay then, let me tell you this. He then gets in front of you. What exactly is something that excited you before this slump that you got into?
Adventure, helping, fighting. I've done a lot of fighting.
Okay, so this world is quite literally filled with random things that we can find, but even more, fights to be fought. It seems as though you're in the best place possible for your usual explorative mood.
Yeah, and yet none of it means anything at the moment. Every fight I've been in has just felt more empty than the last. And I don't even mean in terms of their strength. I mean, I finally met someone who could actually beat me, and even at the end it felt disappointing. It's like the reason I came to fight, the reason I have fought before, just doesn't mean anything to me anymore. So, if I am going to fight, and actually enjoy it, I guess I need to find a new one.
A new reason to continue.
Yeah, but I don't know what that is at the minute. Which is why I just want to walk and relax for a bit. But knowing my luck, someone will probably try and kill me, which is just going to be an annoyance in my day.
I mean, considering that you are known as the Fury Fist, and also one of the only two people who ever got close to killing the strongest thing in the world, you kinda put that on yourself.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like that would happen anyway. It's just kind of been my luck since birth, apparently.
So you're cursed, is what you're saying.
I don't know if I go that far. Can't say I believe in gods.
Never said gods, but fair enough. Oh, well, hang on a second. Why don't you take the others with you? I mean, if you're going on a walk, doesn't it make sense that you go with them?
But they don't just... they want to find me, they can find me, but a lot of the time, it's just kind of pointless. It's either, like, really quiet, or conversations that I have no interest in.
Man, you are a dark son of a bitch, aren't you?
Yep, didn't say I was good company.
No, as a matter of fact, you literally told me the opposite at the beginning of this conversation.
Yep. So can I walk now, or...?
You teenagers are all the same. Alright, get on out of here.
I will say, as once Anaki leaves the confinements of the facility,
Okay.
he will then just throw the letter in through the portal and then just carry on.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Eventually, Smithy runs back and sort of like knocks on the door to Felix's to the room that Felix is in.
Felix will get up and open the door.
Hey, Anake's just like run away. Should we be considering, I don't know, worrying about it?
Like, what's the severity of the running away? Is it legitimately booking it, or is he just walking around?
He left. I mean, he just said that he was going out for a walk, but I don't know. That kid seems pretty messed up.
Perhaps we should go after him. Lily, if you want, I can text or call in-laws, see if they can come visit. They are in the same facility.
I'm just gonna get some rest first. Thank you.
Okay. Sleep well. And Felix will go with Smithy to find Anake.
Well, we either need to go and grab the others, or we can head off on our own. But I don't know, maybe the search party should be bigger, but it's up to you, dude.
It wouldn't hurt to get the others.
He walks in front with his back turned to you, sort of just still talking about, like, the stuff that has just happened, the stuff that Anake said.
Why do you tempt me, Joe?
He starts looking like a giant T-bone steak. Your tummy's all rumbly.
He starts to look like a punching bag.
Yeah.
Go fill man of snail.
There's two little things that apparate in front of you. One of them looks like the devil. The other one looks like an angel. It's like, you shouldn't kill him. You should just befriend him. Do it. End his life. No.
The 10 on my shoulder. Sure. Why can I not speak?
And then there's just another demon saying, "Kill 10. He's the one you need to strike down."
I think it's a bit too obvious to do in the hallway. Like, it's a bit too much of a public area.
Fair enough. Eventually, the doors open in front of him, and is Fletcher and Aldous. As Aldous is revering him of the grand tales of Animite, and Fletcher's starting to realise that I probably shouldn't have said yes when I was actually thinking about something else.
Oh! Felix!
Hello?
Yeah, Anake's gone walk around. We should probably get going.
Oh! Did he say why?
I just wanted to walk, but considering that I don't really think that the guy's in the greatest moods, I don't really know what happened yesterday, but probably we should get on our way.
I mean, he could just be going for a walk.
One of the strongest people in the world wants to go for a walk, and in one of the places that, I don't know, people would actually challenge that. Does that sound like a good idea to you?
As you did say, he is the strongest.
I said one of the.
Yeah.
Well, you might actually be the strongest.
Either way, it's best not
we should
leave anyone behind.
He is our friend, after all. Yeah, we should make sure he's all right.
Yeah, I don't think the kid exactly sees it as a two-way transaction of that kind of social contract. But yeah, we should definitely go and see him.
I wanted to go on a walk.
I mean, we did bump into his brother yesterday, and he seemed to be having a hard time actually seeing him. But then again, family matters are really not my strong suit.
Just knowing that the longer we take, the more distance the guy covers, and he can literally teleport to the other side of the world, so just letting you know, our transport is also leaving us.
So let's walk and talk. Come on, guys.
Right.
Come on.
Okay.
Let's go, Aldous.
Onwards.
You guys get through the doors, and you can't see Anake anywhere outside of the facility. Oh, great. The one guy that we actually need to find someone, and it just so happens to be the...
Can you not use your band to find out where he is? 'Cause you did that yesterday. Or
Yeah, we can just use the band to locate his band.
I remember seeing you do that. So that he's not lost.
Oh yeah, these bands can do a whole lot.
Yeah.
They can even make calls.
Does he have a last name?
If he does, I don't think he's told us.
Because I remember, didn't you have to have a last name to find someone on those paths?
I mean, I was able. Weren't Felix? You were able to find Rakia through the band, right?
Correct. Some
I'm
people don't
pretty
have
sure,
last names. I think titles would also work.
Yeah. Oh, and he's the Fury Fist, so that would work. Band, find Anarche, the Fury Fist.
Eventually, it does come up, as it just says Anarche, but then it then comes up with like a few things of like one of his particular titles, Anarche, the Fury Fist. As it then like shows you on the map, he's about like 3 kilometers away from you guys by now, in the middle of town, or the middle of the city.
Yeah, he's not really not that far. He's just over in there in the town. Are you sure he's running away?
He said for a walk, but I don't know, the kid seems a little, like as if... He's a bit nihilistic.
I've had that feeling. But sometimes he just needs to go... I think he just needs to go for a long walk and think about it.
Okay,
I know exactly what...
The possibility of finding religion.
Yes.
Let's get going.
Well, yeah.
As we come back
Oh
to
wait,
Anarche.
I've got a message.
You say that like that's a bad thing.
As we come back to Anarche. Anarche, you've been walking for a while. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
No, I think as he's walking, he's just kind of in his head. And I mean, he's in his head to the point where, like, if he's walking, he doesn't really realize people are in front of him, so he's probably, because of his natural super strength, just kind of forcing people out of the way.
Yeah, just bumping into people.
Yeah, like, he's not doing it to be a prick, he's just doing it because he's so in his head that he's just not even realizing.
The dude is a snowplow, and everyone else is just a small pile of
yeah, like, he's also just being a dick, like, he's walking across, like, you know, like, crossways when the lights are green.
People do genuinely just stop just before they hit you. And...
Like, he's not in his right state at the moment, and his mind keeps going back to that day. Like, he keeps trying not to think about it, but, like, the fight kind of keeps forcing its way into his head of the events, and... Yeah, at the minute, if anyone was to look at him, his eyes almost look kind of like cloudy in the sense of like, not actually, but it's just more like he's clearly not in the moment. So anything that's happening around him, if anyone tried to attack him or anything, he would not realize that at this moment.
Fair.
And so, yeah, as those sort of thoughts keep going over and over in his head, as he keeps trying not to think about it, he is just walking forward, and if forward leads to a building, he just, you know, changes his direction a bit, and then just keeps walking.
Okay, fair enough. As you continue to do this, obviously the things that cycle around in your head is you go back to that day again and again. The final punch always being the end of this particular thing. The words of him screaming at you again and again as your now dead best friend back in, you know, during that conflict, as he says, like, why not? Why can't we take over this place? Why can't we just be gods? After everything that we have, why? And then it just cuts back to his face covered in blood, looking back down, like looking up at you, just going, you see it too. Our strength isn't like everything else. We deserve superiority. And it keeps playing again and again. Each time a new phrase that he said during that conflict comes up. A new set of words that just keep embedding themselves into you. And even your retorts back at them as well. But your mind keeps hearing these because they are the last things of your best friend.
I think after a while, Anarche will just stop where he's walking, and he will just stand there for like sort of like an eerie amount of time.
I want to point
Just
out you stand at the middle of this bridge, overlooking a large sort of like body of water. The bridge is made out of sort of like wood, and you're standing over it. A couple of people are going past you and stuff like that.
I think he'll just sort of like lean on the bridge and try and take in the sight. Just anything that can get him to not think about this moment.
You then just hear a voice. Just say, "It's clear, isn't it?"
I just kind of look around, see where the voice is coming from.
You see a red-skinned archling. She's roughly around about your height, which is kind of interesting because you're about nearly 6 foot, or are you actually 6 foot?
I think he is, yeah.
She's around about roughly the same height as you. She has tiny little horns, red skin, pink hair, black eyes. She looks very well dressed, but she also looks underdressed for a winter country. She is rather quite curvy, but also she looks well toned as well. As she's looking at you, she has this very big smile on her face. The water, it's very clear here, isn't it?
Yeah. It's quite nice. As he'll just go back to staring at his own reflection.
She then leans over the bridge next to you, so that you can, even though that you see your reflection, you also see her reflection. Well, this is nice.
Yeah. Guess you could say that. How cold do you reckon that water is?
Well, that's quite a good question. Never really thought of it.
No, I guess let's find out. As
Wait,
he just
what?
jumps into the water.
As he plummet about a good 5 meters and I'm gonna need you to roll me a survival check, please.
Yeah, I thought that was coming up.
Because you can either roll endurance or survival, but you're trying not to breathe in because of the intense cold.
I feel like endurance makes more sense.
Fair. Oh god, no.
Yeah.
So you begin breathing in some of that lovely water as you begin drowning.
Yeah.
But you also take cryo damage as well, which is environmental. So D4 times D4 for the amount of D4s that you take.
I mean, he's got more health than God. He'll survive.
Well, someone should tell
I don't
him
think that's
that.
help.
I'm not really. Yeah, it doesn't even break vitality.
28 points of cryo damage, and you also take your drowning. So that's under a 10, so that's a D6. Under an 8, under a 5, so that's a D8. So you're now taking a D8 of damage as you begin. Oh wow, okay.
Oh,
Drown forever.
You know what they say. It's colder than it is thick as water. It's more like cold air at this point. Slightly thick air as you breathe in a droplet of water. As you take 29 points of damage in total.
cool. I'm just gonna activate flight.
Fair enough. Also remember you're not transformed as well.
It doesn't. Yeah, it still works.
Fair enough.
I believe in it. Yeah,
yes, yeah.
it'll just fly back onto the bridge where he was standing. Oh.
You are incredibly cold and chilly. You're entirely soaked to the bone, and she was like, "The hell was wrong with you? Why did you do that?"
I can actually feel my body.
You're weird.
Never said I wasn't.
Okay. We need to get you somewhere nice and warm.
Do I know anywhere like that? No.
She then begins looking around, just like not really knowing what the hell just happened, other than, well, she knows what just happened, but not really understanding exactly why it just happened.
So how warm is energy?
You can roll it and see if your SP can save you from the situation.
Sure, I'll just shoot myself, I guess, because out of transformation, I get any great beams. I guess he's just shooting himself with energy to warm up. I guess.
Roll it.
Yes.
You create some, like, you try to shoot some beams at yourself, like, you know, just sort of like tiny little lasers, and it just, you know, it's still just not doing anything for you. She goes, hold on. And she then takes a deep breath, and fire just engulfs you as she breathes all over you. As like the steam, as you get hit by this fire, you take...
Oh no, Anarche's under attack!
Oh no, I'm on fire. Better jump back in the water.
You take 7 points of damage. However, because of your clothes are so saturated, it dries them off quite quickly. You do get slightly hurt by the fire, but actually you're no longer so freezingly cold, and a lot of the moisture from your clothes has begun to dry up.
No, I guess that works.
Why did you do that?
I mean, I was curious about how cold it was.
Dumbass. You nearly could have died, you know.
Yeah, could have. But that wouldn't be any new occurrence.
Okay.
Look, sorry, who are you? I don't mean to be rude, but...
Well, Oh, right. My name's Pinky. What's yours?
Anarche.
That's a weird name.
Yeah. But, Pinky isn't exactly normal, but, you know,
Well,
fair
it's
enough.
not my... It's not my birth name, it's just a nickname. So, right. Sorry. So,
No, sorry.
why'd you just throw yourself in there?
To be honest, I'm not even quite sure. Fully.
You're strange.
I believe you said that already.
Nice to meet you. As I said, my name is Pinky, but most people just call me that anyway. It doesn't really matter. I doubt that you'd be able to say my name anyway, considering it's a Huskonian word. You look pretty, well, no offense, foreign from around here.
Suppose that is the correct word to use, yeah. Very foreign.
She then sees, like, after, like, you sort of, like, 'cause she goes to shake your hand.
I guess Anarche will go in for the handshake.
She's like, ooh, still a little chilly. She then sees
sorry
and
for
notices the band on your arm. You're a contestant.
Yeah.
Well,
Looking for a fight?
No, not at all. Actually, I'm just surprised that most of you usually want to, well, pick a fight with almost anyone who shows any capability of strength, let alone jumping yourselves into dangerous territory like, oh, I don't know, incredibly cold, nearly freezing water?
I can't say I have much of an interest in fighting anyone at this particular moment.
So you consider yourself much of a fighter?
Well, it's been my life for many of my years, so I guess I would, yeah.
Oh. Well, I don't mind fighting too much, but I often like, you know, just having fun. I don't really like to hurt people. It's one of the reasons I never joined the tournament in the first place.
Yeah, probably a good idea, especially if you don't want your normal life being inconvenienced.
So, tell me. You said that your name was Anake. Does that mean that you're, well, the band, you've done pretty well. Are you strong?
I guess I might consider myself, well, yeah. I guess you could consider me strong.
Tell me, do you often go on large adventures?
Been my life for quite a few years, so I guess you could say I do.
Oh. Well, the only reason I ask is because, well, you then just suddenly hear Fletcher, and Smithy just going, "Hey, Anake!"
Man, that loud.
So they eventually get up to you as the party is now arriving. Oh, you have friends.
I guess you could call them that.
Anarchy! Smithy was so worried about you.
Oh, was he now?
I can't let an Animon child just get out of the way, huh? Besides, you had us worried.
Well, you have my phone number, and you know what, you can track me at the band, so it wouldn't be difficult to find or get hold of me.
That would be great, except for I don't actually have anyone's phone number, and I don't actually own any of those bands.
I wasn't specifically talking to you, I was talking to the whole group.
Huh.
Smithy was quite insistent.
Well,
Right.
Have you had your nice little reflection now?
Is that all you came here to ask? Is that it?
Well, that and also you're kind of acting a little odd.
You've literally known me for like a day.
Alright, cool, fine. I'm paranoid.
Good for you.
Who are these guys?
People I hang around with.
So they're your friends?
Sure, yeah.
That wasn't very convincing.
I know. Wasn't trying to be.
You know, you should be really nicer to each other. But okay. Hi, I'm Pinky.
Felix.
Hello, Pinky.
Nice to meet you, Felix.
Nice to meet you too.
And, who are you? I'm Smithy. Anake's probably told you all about me.
Fletcher just like, what?
Yeah. All.
I haven't mentioned a thing.
Well, at least you could have been a little bit better at lying, but no, sorry. We only just met.
Fletcher. Nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too. And, who are you? As she gets up to Aldous. Yes.
Sam, you're muted.
Aldous' programming doesn't work at the moment.
Fair enough.
All this
Sorry
ran into a
about
new
that.
bit of animite.
I mean,
I need to put that
I mean,
part for that.
the best part of this what I said was like, I'm all this. I'm a child of Fatima. Would you like to hear the good word? And then I heard Joe say yes. I thought for a moment I met my first acolyte. Before he
No.
told me I was muted.
All
no.
a new piece of animite in the lake jumps in.
I mean, do I hear that? Is there animate in the lake? Do I hear it?
I don't know, why don't you go and have a look?
Yeah, why see?
I
I can throw you in if you want.
Yeah, here, let Felix assist.
Yeah, let's grab one legs.
And he goes.
Yeah.
So very.
Anyway, you guys been here long?
Just over a day.
You don't say. Wait a minute. Are you those guys that created that massive traffic jam yesterday?
No, it's my brother.
Wait, your brother did that? Is he with you?
Yeah. Not at the minute.
So you caused a couple of fights in the middle of downtown?
No, I think someone threw a weapon at me when I was just casually flying. It was pretty rude, to be honest.
Sorry, this country can be filled with people that really enjoy using their strength and throwing it around.
Oh no, it wasn't that. Apparently it's some cultist of Dacron. Apparently he had a thing against my kind.
Your kind? Wait a minute. He's a Anemon child, you said? She looks over at Smithy. He nods, but with a questioning look. You're
No.
an Omegan. That's so cool! Not many people around here actually like Omegans, because they usually think that they're quite zealous, but based on the way that you reacted to me, you seem like as if you're quite nice.
That water is looking oddly convincing again.
No. Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. Sorry, apparently everyone has that first view of Omegans around here. I don't get it.
Well, it's because that Omegans have never exactly been nice to our kind. But even worse, there's a country called Eden. There's a great powerful city filled with animatology. They state that there's a powerful amount of them. A huge army of what called the Angels of Matrata. Insanely destructive and zealous. They're Omegans. So much so that any of us, our people, our race, go there, we're treated like monsters, demons, even almost as if we're not people. A couple have come here, and they have attempted to act their laws against our people. They're dangerous, but a lot of people consider their technology incredible. They are scary, though.
So they're just religious zealots who see themselves above everyone else.
Yeah.
That's nothing new. That happens in quite a few places.
Well, sadly, you also met some of the people on our side who kind of feel the same way. Considering that you met someone of the Church of Dacron, they've been turned by a lot of the extremists from Eden. Only 2 of them currently remain, as some of them were hauled off or some of them left. But 2 continue to stay here to try and build followers and exterminate anyone who doesn't agree with them.
Oh boy. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, not really.
It,
No, you were being sarcastic.
It was sarcasm, yeah. You're catching on though.
Anyway, nevertheless, don't let that bother you about this country. A lot of the people really love, well, strength like yourself, and not everyone is against Omegans. I mean, I personally am not.
Thanks, I guess, although I can't really say those are my issues. To be honest, most places I've gone to I get into fights anyway, so people trying to kill me is, again, pretty normal.
Well, you kind of came to the wrong place then, considering Asconia has actually taken to this tournament a little bit more than most. Considering that Asconia is all about strength and capability and prowess in anything, not just fighting. So, the fact that there's an entire tournament that's based on how great one's powers or fighting capabilities are, they've kind of adopted it as a new way of their own life.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Also, are you guys just gonna stand here awkwardly, or like, what's going on?
I mean, pretty much, we're just listening to you natter on with someone that we don't know about. By the way,
Yeah.
and telling us the history of places we've never been or really particularly care about. Just
Look, I'm a
standing
big
there. Yep.
stoic man. All I do is grunt.
To be
All
honest,
this is
What?
let's be-
curious. Does anyone look like they want to hear the good word of anime chat?
No.
Is this the moment?
Not at all.
No.
However, I will say, I don't know why, but I always just imagine whenever Felix stands there stoically, I always just imagine him that he looks like a JoJo's character, just
Yeah.
standing there with like a chiseled jaw.
Again, dating this video. It is just Kratos.
Fair enough.
From, like,
Thanks for
God of
dating
War,
that,
Ragnarok.
dating that video, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, are you just calling saying boy then? Boy.
No, well, considering Felix only has daughters, no.
I know, but you still call them boy.
Boy.
Or no, would it be girl?
Boy.
Listen, girl.
Oh.
Sorry, what? The river looks really nice.
Does.
Oh, you should have a jump in. It's quite refreshing.
Don't do
Really?
that.
Yeah, I
Don't
do.
do. Anyway, why are you even here anyway? You ran here and tried to jump into the river. You say that
I
it's
didn't.
because that you have reasons, but you wanted to feel something. Well, why don't I show you around here?
Sure. Don't have anything better to do.
Well, let me be your tour guide. Is there anything in particular that you want to find? Or any place that you want to go to?
I don't know. What's the hot spots around here?
Well, there's a few of them. We have the Iron Forge, a place that builds all sorts of incredible weaponry and technology.
No, I think I crashed into that.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
Probably best not to go there then. They're kind of looking for someone to blame.
No, fair enough.
There's biotech labs. There's the Grand Marketplace of the Huskonian Market. There is the Bazaar. There is one other place. It's a little strange, but nevertheless, it is something, I guess. There's a battle bar. You can go there and fight people, as well as have a drink and a good meal. And finally, there's, well, the underground. But most people stay away from that place. It's an entire city underground, but although that anyone is allowed to go inside, it's mostly filled with undesirable people.
You speaking from personal experience or just from what you've heard?
A little bit of both, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Won't pry.
No, it's nothing that bad. I just know that it's not a very nice place to be.
Well, do you lot have any opinions or?
I wouldn't mind knowing about some of the beauty locations or landmarks.
Well,
I'm new to this country, so I've only heard from hearsay.
well, we don't really have too many landmarks, considering that there's only one particular place that is massively famous. The first building that was ever placed, and the first monument. Those are the only two tourist locations that I could argue about. Other than that, it's just mostly see the sights around this place.
We could stop by a cafe. I could buy us all some hot drinks.
Oh, you guys would be coming with. I mean, yeah,
I
that'd
don't-
be great.
Not to impose.
No, of course. After all,
I
you
was
guys
just
are
asking.
you guys are friends in a party. It makes sense that I show everyone around.
Actually, can I roll insight to see if she's trying to get in with Anake at this
Roll
point?
me an insight.
And this is the the friends tagging along after being asked for a date thing.
It's the third wheel, is what the phrase is set.
Even though
I know
More than the fifth and the sixth and the seventh.
Roll me a
You all combine into the third wheel.
If we had
True.
Bartholomew, we could have a literal third
Not
wheel.
at all. You have, you're not getting any of that kind of vibe coming from her.
It's been so long since I've had to focus on romance. I don't know what it looks like.
It was almost like she forgot about you guys because you haven't spoken. Nothing further. That's the surface level of it. Nothing further beneath that surface.
It's that scene from Guardians of the Galaxy where I think it was Drax or something, just sitting alone there eating chips.
I'm invisible.
I mean, if anyone else wishes to, they can also roll insight. But other than that,
Sure.
it's pretty much just what it is.
Okay, I might as well.
I hope, out of everyone, I hope Felix figures it out, considering.
It'll be fun.
Well,
Fletch-
it'd especially be funny considering I have a -1.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
No.
I mean, you're getting a little bit more of the notes of like, I don't think she really wanted us to tag along. Well, or even less that she didn't want to, she just didn't expect that you guys would impose yourself. Not that she minds. However, Fletcher, you're like, okay, she kind of is interested in an arcade, either due to like a romantic concept or at the very least she's curious about him. You know from like looking at her, she was so much more transfixed on what kind of person he is that she did kind of forget that you guys were there. But even further, she was kind of hoping that you'd all say, oh no, never mind. But she's polite enough that she's also okay with you guys tagging along. But there was some connotations of, well, I was kind of hoping that it would be me and Anarche. So that's what you sort of gathered from it. She is still fine with you tagging along, though, based on her body language.
Well, I wouldn't mind going on, but I would like to know a little bit more about the nature spots. I was hoping to learn a bit more from my friend Aldous here. He was telling me about his religion. After we get the drink, I could go on.
And I could show you just how powerful Animite is in nature.
That would be great.
Well, there is
Yes.
a calf not too far from here. Just go down there and you're pretty much there. It's it's a pretty nice cafe.
Thank you very much. Let's go, Aldous.
Thank you, Fletcher. And Aldous is quite excited that finally.
Transfixed on an apostle.
Opportunity away.
I don't know why,
Yes.
but I just imagine he looks up at Fletcher. Even if he's taller than Fletcher, he kneels down slowly, looks up at Fletcher with big puppy eyes, just like as if it's the Megamind meme, and it's like, no religion.
You guys take it easy. We're to head on.
Alright, bye.
Smithy is just like standing there with Felix, just like, well, I guess should we go get that coffee and also potentially food?
Sure.
Free
Anything you
stuff!
want.
I mean, thank you.
Of course. It's the least I can do.
Well, I guess it's just the two of us then.
I guess so. Well, I don't really have any particular taste, so, if you got any favourite spots, might as well go and see those.
Well, I have a few, but is there anything that you want to look at or get?
Not at the minute, but if I think of anything, I'll tell you on the way.
I think I know what kind of a person you are then.
No? That was
Follow
quick.
me. She then grabs your hand and like takes her with you.
It just lets it happen.
Yeah, considering the insane strength you have, you have to let her, because it is obvious that she does not have super strength. As like she pulls you along and you continue going with her. You continue going forwards towards something as you just continue riding off. She runs you through what seems to be a large park, again, like snow is everywhere, and people are just sort of like accepting of it. You see a few like kids running around. You see a few like adults sort of just sitting in the park. Some of them you see them making like snow people, snow angels in the ground as well. As Felix, Fletcher, Aldous, and Smithy all get to a cafe called like the Demon's Horn Caf.
Oh, I thought we were separating out.
I think we are.
We were
somewhat.
separating after the drink.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys are going to a caf, and it's just like the caf that you got directions for. As
Okay.
it's just called the
That's right.
Demon's Horn Caf.
Yeah, Felix
I don't
will
have any
pay for it
money.
all.
Felix will pay for it all, did you say?
Yes.
The entire total comes to everyone gets a drink, whatever drink that they'd like. It can be caffeinated, decaffeinated, doesn't have to be anything to do with coffee, and they even sell certain like alcoholic beverages as well.
Felix has to stay sober for this occasion. But how about Smithy? What's Smithy
I'm
getting?
gonna ask you to roll me a willpower.
Me a willpower?
Yes.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah,
A
it's
willpower?
It's disadvantage, by the way.
Okay. So just
TD,
roll it
TD20
twice.
plus obviously your willpower modifier, which still is pretty darn high anyway. But I just
I mean,
Yeah.
I think unless you get a 1, you're probably safe.
It's going
I
to
need a
drain his
drink.
sorrows
you
before
got,
he kills
you got
someone.
12. I'd say that's enough for now, considering it is also it's earlier on in the day. But you do look at those beers and you're like, Asconian beer, and then you go, no, I should probably get a coffee or something.
The business comes before pleasure.
Smithy has a look for a while, and he just goes, and he just asks for one of the Husconian beers.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Oh,
you hold in your emotion. I need you to roll me a nerve, real quick.
Okay.
You hold in your
Like,
emotion,
put
but
that-
there was
like,
like
put that
you
D10
do
in there.
swallow a little bit of resentment. You're like, motherfucking just taking drinking beer with my money, and you just sort of swallow it down, and you look as calm as you have ever been.
Trust me, I want him to be drinking.
Fair enough. Like that didn't sound sinister. Aldous and Fletcher, you get your beverages in which you obviously can choose soft, hard, coffee,
A hot whiskey,
not coffee.
man.
Hot. Okay, fair enough. And then what about yourself, Fletcher?
Herbal tea, as we both know, Fletcher does not drink,
That is true.
no matter what temptation.
You all sit down. It's up to you if you sit down at the same table or at separate tables. But you'll sit down at table or tables.
Yeah. Smithy also wanted some food, did he not?
Smithy did want some food. He also gets like himself like a chocolate brownie. And sits down. I want to point out the
Whatever
things
he
that,
wants.
the things that like you get them in are not actually made out of like ceramic. They're actually made out of like seemingly like horn, like similar to like goat's horns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yours comes in like a small cup, and the handle is made out of like like a thing that's like actually part of the horn itself. Everyone gets
Avarice?
these. Yeah, every one of them, but all of them are differently shaped and sized. Only one of them is the shape of an actual horn from start to finish, which is Smithy's one.
Joe, out of curiosity,
Yes.
could I have clocked any alleyway?
I'm going to ask you to roll me a perception, and whilst this is going on, I need to just quickly go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I'll ask you
Real
to roll me
quick, with suburbanite,
Yes, that's
does that
fair
give
enough.
me
yeah,
advantage?
yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'll be back in a second. So I'll let you guys have your chats.
Quick, Sam, talk about religion.
Felix, can I just ask, which one are you planning to kill? Just so I know if I should be
That's
curious.
his. Hang on, no, that's his knowledge to have. Hang on, no, you don't just get to ask him who he's killing.
I will say this: you are a player character. It feels rude to kill a player character. So
You're-
you're not my
yeah.
first choice.
Yeah, but it's Sam. You'll
Yeah.
have another one by next week.
Look,
Exactly.
I have my plans if Smithy goes wrong. Okay.
Good.
I mean,
Anyway.
You're the backup.
Not even first choice.
Unless you want to give yourself up, I
mean, Alice will not go quietly into the night. He has ways.
Well, hang on. You don't know any of this, so
No, I don't. Alice is just quite thankful he's got a whiskey lemon, a hot whiskey lemon.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so a 16 on perception. We'll wait for Joe to get back.
Yeah.
so tell me about Animite.
Well, have you ever wondered why people have powers rather suddenly after thousands of years of not having them?
Explosions?
Yes, but think of it like this: 2,000 odd years ago, there were people who managed to use animite and could hear it and use it for such creations, and then they disappeared, and then suddenly no one uses animite at all.
To be fair, I have
At
not
all?
thought about it.
See, that's what it was. It got tired of being quiet, of being unlistened to, and at one moment, as it was being tortured for information, it sang out across the world. In the Great Change.
So that's the reason I can go through wall.
Exactly.
But wasn't the Ongors using spirit to infuse animite?
No. Because have you ever seen people able to use animite as it has been described by them?
Okay.
Anarche.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
But to be fair, he's from a different dimension.
Yes. But animite is throughout all of time and space. It is reality.
I see. And you're saying you can hear the songs.
Yes. Just as the disciples of animite, the Ongors, heard them and understood them. I have yet to decipher their meaning entirely, but I can hear them.
Fascinating.
Indeed. Would you like to hear them?
Yes.
Okay, I will see if it works this time, because I only got a 5 on a roll. But knowing my luck,
We'll see. By the way, I got a 16 for perception, Joe.
can I roll? Can I use my practice on
No.
that? Come on.
Because it's funnier if
No.
you don't. Yeah, so Felix, you get a... Yeah, so... Is that a 26 on Suburbanite, or is that...
Suburbanite just gives me advantage, I think.
Oh, okay. So that's just 16. Okay.
I think it's just 16.
Okay. You've seen a few. You've seen a few alleyways, yes. A couple very close to you. One across the street. And then there was one in between this establishment and the building next to it. There are a few further up the street as well.
Okay. Good to know.
As we come back to Anarche. Anarche, Pinky has been basically pulling you across like all this like stretch of land throughout the city. You've sort of been going through a park. You went through a couple of other places, and she keeps holding your hand and like taking you through the city.
I will also say she will probably notice as this has been going on, Anarche probably looks like he's more and more enjoying himself.
Okay.
Like whatever he was thinking about is sort of lessened on his mind to a degree.
Okay. As she eventually gets you to a place, and she just goes, "Okay, right, we're gonna turn a corner, but beforehand, I want you to close your eyes."
This is where you get kidnapped.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Let me put this blindfold on you. You can
Close your
Yeah.
eyes.
Mark,
Don't
man.
worry about this giant ass needle full of whatever kind of things inside of it.
Yeah, we could.
This huge burlap sack over your head.
I'm just gonna be putting these special dampening cuffs on just so that you don't cheat. No, she just goes.
By the way-
Close your eyes. Sorry, go on.
I'm having it that this is Anake has like the bubble effect, and that's what he sees is all these scenarios.
Okay.
Drugs, kidnapping.
3 men stepping out of the shadows.
Alright. I also won't sense any energy, even though you didn't add that, but I won't.
Okay. Yeah. Close your eyes.
He'll close his eyes.
You then feel her hand grab yours, and then she sort of pulls you again, just towards a direction that you again. I'm assuming that you're not peeking.
No, but I am gonna roll my willpower thing to enhance my hearing.
Okay.
Just in case, never know.
To be fair, I haven't made it seem any less suspicious by being like, what do you use?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You do you feel the footsteps, you feel her sort of pulling on your arm. You sense that nothing has really changed in the terms of the sounds of her walking, so it's definitely no one else, unless if it's someone who walks and sounds identical to her. Yeah, as you're sort of closing your eyes and as you're doing this, you sort of sense a few people around you, but it begins to get a little crowded where you're going, until eventually you sort of just hear hi, welcome to shh, don't say anything. Can we get 2 tickets, please? She then you can then hear a voice just going, please don't open your eyes yet. Okay. 2 tickets. Here you go. As she takes your hand again and pulls you back in, as you feel a large sort of you're going through a large sort of archway. It feels like as the noise is reverberating off and around it, you can hear people. It feels as if it's bouncing off of wood. As you finally get through what feels to be a strange object that hits you in your stomach, and then sort of moves with you, sort of like a turnstile. She then goes, okay, you can open your eyes now.
He'll open one of his eyes quickly, have a peek.
As you sort of see a large quantity of people standing around in this place, do you open both of your eyes?
Yeah.
As you look around, you see it's a very crowded sort of place. As people are sort of getting through these turnstiles and stuff, and then separating out, and so on and so forth. It is a massive area, open area, and it just above this massive billboard in front of you says the Huskonian Zoo.
You'll make a wonderful addition to the exhibit.
His eyes light up.
That's so cheap.
Yes. Yeah.
Just see 2 giant, dungaree or overall wearing, straw hat wearing shotgun wielding Huskonia just step from beside. Well,
Yeah.
we got ourselves a new one, boy.
This one's interdimensional.
By the way, real quick, Joe, do you think that Felix could hand one of his knuckle dusters to Smithy for Smithy to maybe inspect, give his opinions on, maybe, try it on?
Yeah, sure. How do you broach this this part of the conversation?
Felix would approach him under the guise of, hey, do you think, are there any ways to improve this? What would you suggest? You seem very talented in your field.
He asks, what exactly is it?
It's a knuckle duster that imbues my stockpile.
I'm gonna roll a power knowledge.
No, I'm only handing him one. I have the other just in case.
Before he touches it, he then just sort of like moves his hand back. Yeah, you're an emotional empowerment stockpiling ability user, and you also seem to have some kind of control over your own desires. So I'm only gonna ask this once. These are legendarily infused, are they not?
I believe so, yes.
Right. Yeah. You see, if I touch one of these, there is a good possibility that I might be under the control of these.
Fair enough. I will.
That being said, I don't think there's any way that they can be any stronger. There might be some possibility of some tampering, but any way that I tamper with them could either make them more dangerous, even in your hands, as well as anyone else's. To be honest, even if I was to get rid of the ability that it corrupts people based on your particular afflictions, it actually could worsen their effect. They don't seem to affect you because that your abilities are actually strengthened by your desires. But if anyone else wished to touch them, they would be enthralled by your desire, meaning that they'd suddenly want to commit your strongest vice, or even your greatest virtue, almost without their own control of their own will. Now, some would still have inkling of their own will and personality, but yeah, if I was to get hold of this, who knows what I'd want to do.
That's perfectly fair. Just thought I'd ask.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, honestly, they seem pretty powerful from a distance without touching them. But if they are legendarily infused, there's not much else that I can do for them. Not without tampering with them to the point of which they could be actually self-destructive.
Felix will nod.
As we come back to, Fletcher and Aldous. So you're at a different table, and you are speaking to, Fletcher about the great word of Animite.
Yes.
I don't hear anything different. I hear something.
What a weird anime sound. Totally not me dying. Don't mind.
Can I try again?
You can. Would you like to use your practice on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you sure that's wise?
2D,
Yes.
2d20s plus 10.
Two natural ones. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Okay,
I
yeah,
both work.
just enough.
This dice bot only mildly hits me, as opposed to yours absolutely despises me and my core being.
Yes, you do so. Describe to Fletcher exactly what happens as he holds you.
How much beyond the ones in my head on my like crown? Is there any others in the room?
No, because despite the fact that the thingies are legendary blood transfused, they're not actually animite infused. Although technically, you still hear the noise from them. But yes, other than that, you don't really hear any other specific items. So you hear all of the stones that you own. The crown. He actually does, however, hear his own eye, and I'm gonna actually have to ask you. Fletcher, can you roll me a willpower with disadvantage, please?
Uh-oh.
It hurts, but it's more like a pain, like a headache. Like you actually like all of these noises resonating in your head sort of almost feel like as if it's penetrating right into the middle of your skull. It's not bad enough that you would actually like keel over, but it's like, oh, actually that's very sharp, because again, this is overwhelming rather than it actually being like all of them really hurt. However, you eventually do get used to it.
Is it loud sound?
It's loud sound. However, what I'm going to say is you don't feel pain, you just feel discomfort.
It's
But really does not like loud sounds.
I want to point out
just
it's loud sound in the inside your head rather than in your ears.
Also, I have an animite chunk in my pocket. Does that also affect?
I mean, I want to point out you have one in your skull. Like, you know.
Okay.
But all of them
Actually,
are giving
really
off an insane sort of amount of frequency. Again, it doesn't hurt, it just causes discomfort. Now, I want to point out that, like, you should be feeling, like, pain from this, but you're not.
Oh, is this what you hear? Oh, that's annoying.
Just give it some time and you'll get used to the sound.
I thought the sound of falling buildings was annoying.
As we now come back to Anarche and Pinky. Well, I thought that you like different places. You seem like as if you're very adventurous, so I thought I'd take you here. This is the closest thing that I've ever actually come to an adventure outside of my own homeland.
Oh, man, it's just... No, thanks. It's just I have some really good memories of zoos when I was younger. One of the few places I'd actually get taken out to. Oh, man, I'm actually kind of curious. Hey, come on, let's go and have a look. He kind of forgets he's holding Hadzaber, so as he just starts moving, I guess it's like accidentally dragging her along.
Yeah, she goes up, and then by the way, like because of that, it's like she's actually like almost taken off her feet. And then she is running beside you, but she didn't realise that how strong you were. It's just like, wow, okay, I didn't realise you were this. Well, she like continues following along with you.
So he's just gonna have a look at all the animals in order.
You go through and you see all sorts of like interesting creatures, like special like designed snowbirds, like that have like, you know, like even they almost look like seagulls but bigger, and their feathers are fluffier. Like they almost look, at first you're thinking, oh, that's a penguin, and then it gets up on its legs and it's a huge like condor-sized seagull. And you later on see penguins. And like these penguins are like massive, like they're really fat and bulky, but they're moving around like really quickly. You see all sorts of things like you see creatures that are supposed to be in other habitats, but they're covered in like special like rooms and stuff like that that have like built-in heating. You see like, you know, underwater creatures as well, like there's an aquarium sort of location as well. You see like massive, and I mean like as in like elephant-sized polar bears. Like I mean like full-on elephant-sized polar bears. The glass that you see is like, it just says, do not worry, this glass is reinforced to be able to take, and then it just has a list of all of the incredibly ridiculous things that it would have to be hit by before it could actually be destroyed. One of which actually says land to sea missiles.
They make glass. Oh, I guess they would have to make glass for that sort of strength.
She's like, you know, Pinky, one out. Yeah. We have a lot of strong creatures here. They have to survive the incredible place, but apparently up to 100 years ago, most of the creatures here weren't actually this strong and large. It's mostly because of the Animite wave.
Yeah, I forgot that affected this world. Oh, sorry, are you alright? I've kind of been dragging you along, haven't I?
It's fine. I didn't expect to be pulled around like a kite, but actually, it's kind of funny.
in a good way, or
You can tell. You can tell just like she is telling the truth. Like from what she's saying, she actually does find this quite funny and quite entertaining. And again, like you see all sorts of things. One thing that you see though is like a huge billboard that says like the Huskonian Yeti.
wait, you have Yeti, sir?
Well, yeah. Wait, you don't have them from where you're from?
And not exactly. They're more like an urban myth.
Oh.
People very are convinced they exist, but
Huh.
I guess they do here.
Well, let's. Come on, I'll show you. She eventually, like, you get into this huge room, and it's just a huge, like, white out sort of place. Like, you can't really see anything inside of this huge habitat. It's just white everywhere, like piles and piles of white. It's just full of snow, and there's actually like a simulated snowstorm, like as like massive like snow cannons just firing off snow like a blizzard.
Anarchy is just going to use Aura Sense, see if he can find the animal.
Roll for
the
it.
Yeti.
Uh,
17.
With this,
Yep.
aura sense, you sort of activate it, and the best way that I can describe it is, you know how in Wano they show off Conqueror's Haki?
Mhm.
You do this, and this sort of blitz wave like comes from when you open your eyes. Like again, only you can feel and sense it, but it like hits everything within this room. You can sense everyone's like energies, auras. But the one thing that you're looking for is obviously this Yeti. As you do, the largest mound of snow, you sense this thing's life force. This thing is about the size of Yol Kaiger. As you see it, you realize, oh, it's not snow, it's fur. As this thing like is huge, and then it starts like turning around, and you realize, oh, okay, that thing is massive. As it looks like sort of the equivalent of a gigantic orangutan covered in like basically white fluff. This fur, it looks both fluffy but yet coarse at the same time. This thing only has fur off of its face and its hands, specifically its fingers and thumbs, and its toes. This thing looks like a giant, like ape, primate, or as I said, orangutan. As this thing is around about 5 to 6 meters tall. It is huge.
Yeah, there it is.
Huh. That must be one of the babies.
Oh, they get bigger.
You don't really know much about Yetis, do you?
I know 0. Well, okay, I know a bit more. I know that one looks like a baby, apparently.
Well, most babies can be anywhere between 1 meters all the way up to 6. Adolescents, however, can grow up to the size of about 10 meters.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
You then see what you originally thought was the background, as your energy sense becomes a lot more apparent as to what you were sensing, because the life force is a different color. As then you sort of see this huge, what you originally thought was a wall of snow move as it almost like creates a mini avalanche. As this thing was lying down, and yes, it is around about 10 meters long. As it just moves on over to its side with its arm using it as a rest, and it's basically lying down on its side looking at its child. It's about 4 meters wide, this thing. So it's almost as wide as its own child is tall. As it sort of like lazed around in this sort of relaxed sort of like look, it then just looks at its own child, pats it on the head, and goes, "Rah!" As like this huge, like what seems to be sigh comes out, and it just covers the entire iced wall window that you have in just a huge fog. As any amount of like what seems to be droplets of water or condensation immediately freeze over.
And it's got quite a powerful yawn too, apparently.
Yeah, they have an incredible, bad breath. They can freeze almost anything with just a single, well, blow.
Huh.
They're cold-blooded creatures, but they actually still can move inside of ice temperatures.
Do you have quite an interest in animals? You seem to know quite a bit about most of them.
I actually do. Some of my favorite things about Huskonia is the vast, incredible weirdness that comes from it. I mean, I'm actually one of 3, and both my sister and my brother have different abilities and even different mutations to myself. Almost every animal inside the animal kingdom has been entirely changed. Heck, even 100 years ago, some people stated the Yetis didn't even exist. But if that's possible, then that means that there's thousands upon maybe millions of different species that I still haven't seen all across the world. It's something that I've always wanted to know about whether or not there is more to life than just what we see before us. That there are incredible abilities and powers, mutations, and even species that we don't even know about yet. It's really cool.
It is. It is quite nice traveling, seeing that sort of things. Although, I imagine, well, actually, why haven't you gone traveling? If you're so curious about it.
Oh, her demeanor changes a little. It's mostly because... well, I don't really know where to start. On top of that, I've never really had that much confidence in going on my own. And also, I don't really know too much about the outside world. So, even if I was strong enough, I wouldn't know where to start. But even if I knew where to start, I don't feel like as if I'd be strong enough on my own. And then, around about the time that I thought that I was going to get the courage to, well, it was almost a month ago. Maybe nearly 2, actually. The, Crucible happened.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sorry to burden you with this.
It's not too bad. I mean, I threw myself into an ocean of... Yeah, I think it was an ocean, right? Yeah, so, I mean...
It was a little river.
Oh, well... Same thing, really.
You are strange, Anake.
I know, but, yeah, thanks for the day, and also, sorry I was kind of an arsehole at the beginning, it's just kind of, you know, not in the greatest of moods, you just kind of like that sometimes.
I'm sorry to hear that you weren't in the best of moods, but hopefully this cheered you up.
Yeah.
I know that most people don't really believe that Huskonia is full of great things, but I hope that this shows that our people, our country, and even the rest of the world actually has something to offer.
I mean, can't say I personally ever doubted that. I mean, the amount of civilizations I've seen, you tend to see that each one kind of has their own unique twist on things.
Wait.
None of them are entirely original, but...
Civilizations? You mean you've been to other places with other cities and stuff like that? You travel?
Yeah. I've probably seen quite a few hundred. Actually, is that highballing it? I don't know.
100? Wait, you mean you're not from Eden?
oh no, I'm not even from this universe.
Wait, what? She says that out loud in front of a bunch of people as they all like turn around and look directly at you.
Pinky's next one who is out of this world.
Out of this world, hey.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah! Sorry, go on.
What's up?
Mark is like, damn, I should have used that pun. Oh well. Yeah. Yeah, I come from an entirely different plane of existence.
Oh. Sorry. In that case, I should probably apologize. I actually thought that you were one of the two... Well... You know.
From Eden, I assume?
Yeah. I thought that the reason as to why you did what you did was actually to lure in people. And then when I saw your party, I thought that maybe you weren't, but I wanted to still make sure that you, well, could possibly be different. But I realized that you're not only from a different place, but you actually have nothing to do with the people of Eden.
Not losing interest now, are you?
Actually, the opposite. Although I do apologize for not being entirely honest with you.
Nah, it's fine. I mean, I didn't say I was an alien, so, you know.
Well, now you're just being weird. Yet again. Actually, wait, now that suddenly makes sense. She starts, like, putting her fingers up and then start counting all of the different times that she said that you're weird, and it's now suddenly, like, coming to, like, a big math problem. Like, huh.
You see, if you really think about it, it comes full circle. I'm an actually normal person.
Well, for this place, I guess.
Well, is there anything else you want to do, or...?
Actually, there is. I wanted to ask you. If you are going somewhere else. And I don't really want to be a burden, but... could you take me with you?
I mean... I don't see why not. I mean, our group does seem to be inept in just picking up people randomly. No offense.
As you look back at her when you, like, say, you know, no offense, you notice that her eyes are sparkling. They're, like, the widest you've ever seen them. Her smile is ear to ear, mouth open, as she then just jumps at you.
The reactionary catch.
I guess roll me grapple.
God, you
Goes into a
and your-
suplex.
You and your whole moments while I'm sitting here eyeing down a man I'm about to kill.
Powerbomb
Yep.
her like a champ.
Boom.
It's up to you if you want this to be comical or bad. Like I can put it as a I can put it as
Oh, don't put me on this. I'm such a dick. It's tempting. No, I'll be kind.
We could do a severity check, or we could do an intelligence check.
No, we'll be kind.
Okay.
I won't suplex her today.
You do grab her, grab her around the waist as, like, you know, again, like she just jumps at you. As her chest slams into your face and she's, like, cuddling you, and she goes, thank you. I can't wait to see the open world. As we now come back to Smithy just finishing his drink and, like just slamming the horn upside down. All right. So, where are we going?
Well, unless you want to explore the city, we can just head back to the lab. Wait for Nanke to get back.
Well, if the kid's already gone, we might as well discuss a few things. Such as, what exactly do you plan to do now that your wife is better?
Well, whether I like it or not, I'm in this tournament.
What, so you think you're gonna win it?
No, but I'm here to survive it.
Survive it, huh? You know what? For a guy who doesn't like to joke around, you often say the funniest shit.
I've made it this far.
Yet again, comedy classic. Felix, you don't just survive, you thrive in this shit. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're a born natural at this. That dad strength got to be something else. Considering you not only took on Toxie one-on-one, well, a little bit of help, I guess,
2-on-1.
but you also beat Leah on your own, alongside then beating Toxie. Not to mention, you took a single scratch of damage. Oh wait, no you didn't. And yet you're also still standing. I saw your fights, I've seen your battles, I've seen how you play the game. In all honesty, I think the scariest thing was when I saw you against High and Dry. You beat the two of them single-handedly. And, might I say, you did it under the assumption you lost your powers. That shit is something else.
Felix will nod. Maybe like a slight chuckle.
All I'm saying is, you keep telling yourself that you're only in it to survive. You're actually better off winning it than almost anyone else here.
Even if that's the case, I have no reason to win the tournament.
You kidding me? Either a billion, any currency that you want, or a stone that makes you either a god or grants you a wish. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, dude.
Thanks to you, my wish has already been granted.
I knew you'd say some crap like that. It almost brings a tear to the eye. A family man who wishes for nothing else but his family. He doesn't need anything else because he's already the richest man in the world. Sentimentality like that is the very reason why I'm alone.
That's fair.
So,
I imagine as soon as Inaka gets back, you'll be wanting to head home.
I don't know. Quite frankly, you guys are interesting. But I guess that's really up to you guys. Considering you don't seem to have much of a reason for being. And, I don't know. I think I'm starting to like you guys.
Glad to hear it.
Of course. I would sell you up for a single bottle of whiskey if I could. I mean, you guys are motherfucking scary. I mean, Aldous alone. The guy's got a lot of power, but you... I reckon you could take down the entire squad if you wanted to. Yeah, you're definitely a dangerous piece of work. If it weren't for the fact that you're actually a pretty decent father and a hell of a good husband. I would actually want to put you on my list.
It's very fair.
As for the, walking corpse, I'd have to say, he does well to survive. I mean, a phase...
You're talking about Fletcher, right?
Yeah.
Just one check.
I mean,
He is indeed a walking corpse.
well, the amount of times that he's taken near threats of, like, death, like, he's just basically, like, taking a piss. But, I mean, hey, the guy's got something. Of course. He's not too much of a problem, considering he's a lovesick puppy who cares nothing but his master, although she's quite terrifying.
Indeed.
I'm gonna give you a word of advice. Just remember, a lot of people you can trust, but there's a whole lot more that you can't. So...
I'll drink to that.
But I would definitely not trust Ten. Although he's done well by your family. You know every single one of those children of his? I heard a rumor that they're actually not only adopted, he has 117 kids, all of which, except for one, are actually only legally his, not biologically. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but funnily enough, every single one of them ends up having some special ability or power that isn't a natural Huskonian ability. only to make it worse. He's the reason why. All I'm saying is, if he had experiment on his own children, including Tendra, what the hell would he do to a person he only barely knows?
That's fair. There's, at the moment, I'm afraid I have to trust him.
Yeah, fair enough. Either way, I think the dude's pretty terrifying and pretty creepy. Maybe I should get going.
Maybe. Trust me, I've fought him. He packs a punch.
Well, where are we going next, Felix?
Why don't we just walk around town? Once Anaka is done with his little trip, we can send you back home. And if that's what you want, of course.
Alright, sounds good. Take me away. Aldous and Fletcher, what are you doing? So I want to point out that you guys don't necessarily notice that these two leave the calf. Because again, you are too busy explaining the greatness of Animite, but also, Fletcher, you're sort of just like wondering what he's talking about, and you're trying to listen because you're trying to be polite.
But I have a splitting headache right now.
Again, you don't have a headache. Once it stops, the discomfort stops. It's not really pain, it's more discomfort.
There'll probably come a time where I've done enough that I think that you look like you'd probably. Does there come a time where it looks like you believe me?
Yeah, sure, if you want to believe that.
I guess roll me deceit and then roll insight, I guess. So Fletcher deceit, Aldous insight.
Okay, I'm gonna use the good dice spot, of course.
What
He
was that
says
sound?
with a fork.
Yeah.
Why do the dice spots hit me?
Here,
though?
let me do it with the regular dice spot. Let me see if that modifier what you got in there. Yeah. you see.
That dice spot hit me.
Natural 20 and a dirty
The dice
20.
spot
Jeez.
hit me.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely
Yeah,
beautiful.
let me try what's the other dice spot?
Just
minus roll d20 plus 2.
Okay.
copy that.
Yeah, why are you using that bot?
Because the body is giving me 2 natural ones.
Fletcher,
within 2
you-
seconds. Let me tell
Look
you.
at this. Look at this.
Jeez. Fletcher, you have the strongest poker face you have ever shown as you go, okay, I am a believer. You're not a believer whatsoever. You don't really even care that he's been saying this. You've just been polite. Aldous,
No.
you have a new apostle.
Wait. So, tell me about you and your master then.
Oh. Well, I've known her since the start of the tournament. We've been not apart since the beginning of it. Though I noticed as she gained more and more skills, she just seemed to come on to herself, all on her own. I wasn't sure of it at first, but it was respect at the beginning, and it turned into admiration. And somewhere down the line, I became something else that I'm still not quite sure of myself.
Can I roll insight to see if I know what it is, considering I might know what it is?
Yeah, roll insight, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I'm assuming you're not being deceitful about this, are you?
Nope, open book.
Well, you didn't even know he was being deceitful about the last bit.
That's what I mean. Like, he's not hiding his emotions now. I mean,
No.
Fletcher's waving his hands around when he's saying this, just like trying to enthrall you in his words.
What
It's
exactly
just the
is
look
it
at-
that you're trying to convey to Aldous?
It's like he's essentially telling him from the beginning to when they ended up in the shack together, just letting know how Fletcher feels and how much he's learned.
As you're hearing him say this, it is just literally like you can hear, "Take my breath away."
Yes, I was thinking more. The look of love.
That's the
can't
power
remember the rest of
of
the
love.
Da, 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 da.
So yeah,
Okay.
as like they sort of finishes the sort of expression, it becomes very apparent how he feels.
Yeah. How do you think Rakia feels about you then, your master?
Oh, I'm her student. I think might be her favorite. But then again, I'm also her only student. Never really asked.
Because I think I know what you're feeling for her now. And I think not I should say. Something that you should come to naturally. Gradually.
You know, Aldous, you're really wise.
Well, I have been around quite a fair bit. I like to think I've learned a bit.
This has given me a lot to think about.
So,
We should probably head back.
Felix, whilst they've been doing this, and obviously you've now left, where are you taking Smithy?
Mostly just to see the sights, but if at any moment I can like naturally get him into like a very desolate place.
Like you start saying like, I guess like roll me a deceit roll.
Sure, let me
Planning a murder in real time.
look. It's improvisation.
You go, oh, I guess we should go down here, and then you just go down an alleyway.
Alone or with him?
Like obviously with him, and he just keeps following you. It's like, oh, okay, like, why are we going down here again?
Okay. God, I don't know if I want to be snarky and have any like, this is where it ends or some shit.
Tell him to think of the rabbits.
He's right next to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Phil?
Not giving him any time to react, I will quick action bulk up, be like, sorry, I have to do this. You want me to roll willpower?
No, you don't need to roll willpower. I will say you do have to roll SPMA only just to see like the level of your willpower defense. But other than that, yeah, it is a quick action, so yeah, it's too quick for him to react to.
It's a d20 plus 10.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you transform because what? Boosh! As you're now transformed.
all right. And then time to start up that combo.
Which one? There are.
Well, we start. I think we're starting with the regular combo.
Okay.
So let me find quickly. Where's our pinned? With regular combo, it doesn't. What's in that in our
just,
pinned?
It's just 10 or above. You just roll to punch him, and then the next action you get to do another action, like which can also be an attack.
Right. So it's
Just obviously D20 plus 16.
plus 16, 33.
Yep. Oh.
Wait, what? Boosh! Roll damage.
Okay. And then I'm just wanting to make sure because it's regular combo and not Sonic Strike.
It's
Before we have pinned.
It's 5d10s plus 16 plus one of your gauntlets, plus then the 2d12s. Oh, plus 8 as well. Because obviously you're infused with willpower and everything.
5d10 plus 16. I'm just like, currently I have like copy and pasted the other what we have pinned, but I think that's Sonic Strike. What do I remove? From that?
I think you remove the 25 from that, I think.
Okay.
Because it should be 5d10s plus 16, plus then
Plus
one.
10.
Plus then 10, plus then is it a d10? I can't remember what it is.
Well, it's pinned in our thing. So what I have is 5d10 plus 16 plus 10 plus 5 plus d6 plus 8 plus 2d12.
Yep, that sounds. Yep.
Okay. 82.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to the next.
Stop! He's already dead. Oh.
As you hit him, you like full on like crumple his face. He is still somewhat alive.
Okay.
As you go for your next one, I guess.
Should I specify? Well, does 10 needs him dead, right? Making sure, right?
I mean, he said he wants his power, he wants his ability, he wants him dead, whatever.
Okay, cool. So d20 plus 16 again. 33 once again. Could I use acceptance?
Oh.
Acceptance can only be used on. It can only be used if you fail in a reaction, not if he succeeds a reaction.
Okay.
Okay. So you go for the other like strike, and as you go to actually hit him, he just teleports away as you strike into the building behind him, or where he originally was. And then just immediately the entire building just cracks and just shatters like the whole wall.
How far can I quickly clock where he's teleported to, or?
Yes, you can roll me a perception check.
Okay, it's perception. I'm in a city. I have advantage technically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Run, Smithy, run! Run, Smithy, run!
So it's just 2d20. So.
Oh!
You look around real quick, and you just see him like just holding his face. Like blood is gushing from his head, and he's just like holding that stone, as he's just like sort of like looking back.
Okay, well, he used his reaction to.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Can I quickly close the distance and go in for another attack?
You can attempt to do so, yes.
Okay. Well, I will. So just another d20 plus 16.
So this is another one of your Sonic Strike combos.
Oof.
Ooh, okay. He is able to teleport away again as you like go to hit something, and again you hit the ground as it just sort of cracks beneath you. As he's now teleported about like 30 meters away on the other side of the road, again holding his face. It's just like coughing and splitting up blood.
All right. Well, I once again close the distance.
Sadly, since that was a natural one, that ends your turn.
Okay. Well, what's he gonna do?
As he's looking at you, just like. He can't even speak because his face is that badly destroyed. He then holds the stone, and as it begins to glow, I'm going to say, roll me perception. I'm going to say roll me perception, everyone actually, but it has to be perception.
Do I have advantage with this again, or?
No, you're in front of him, so you already know where he is.
I already know, so I'm not rolling.
No,
or
you're not rolling. Everyone but you is rolling. So even Anarche, Fletcher, and Aldous.
27.
I mean, there was no.
Does it have to
argument-
be? Does it have to be perception in this case for me, considering I was using my sensory ability, or?
Only because that it is more audio based. I'm gonna ask you to roll me perception.
That's fine.
Although then again, I guess you could. Nah, yeah, fine.
I've already rolled it. So.
Fletcher, you notice that something's wrong as you hear a very large explosion. 2.
Do I recognize?
Do you recognize the explosion?
Do you recognise the frequency of this? That sounds like a Felix explosion. No, you don't. However, you guys were leaving the place. You sort of see where the smoke and the dust is coming from.
Sounds like something's happening, Aldous.
Should we go look into it?
Please don't.
For
For the sake of your guys' lives, please don't.
For the sake
hear
of
this
this
on the wind?
hilarious moment, please do whatever you want.
Do we just hear on the wind Felix saying, "Don't come"?
Didn't Pinky say that that Husconia has really gotten into the tournament?
Oh yes, I had heard. Yes. Must confess, I was only semi-paying attention.
Yeah, it's probably just another bunch of contestants already going at it.
Those damn contestants.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
see.
technically.
So we go see who it is, though. At least we can get some from the competition, as you call it.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, grab onto my hand. We shall fly then.
I will say Felix did try to get some distance. So
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. There is some definite distance. It's like a few kilometers away and everything, but it's still that thing of like they're not going to get to you in time for the next couple of actions. But it's just like whether or not anyone is aware of this. Anarke, you and Pinky are sort of like so obviously she hugs you, she thanks you so ever so much, and she was like, you know, she says that she can't wait to join you and you know, adventure all throughout the world and find some incredible and amazing things. You don't notice or hear anything. Again, you're so far away you wouldn't be able to. I was just seeing if there was a chance above a 15 or a 20 or something.
Well, I will grab. I will pretty much just gently grab onto thingy, and I will roll for advanced flight.
Okay.
Your new disciple.
Yes.
You activate the stone, and you basically fly, holding him.
We go 39 meters per minute or turn, or whatever.
Okay.
And I can go up to a maximum flight of 900 meters, I think.
900?
Oh no, actually no, it's 90. I added an extra zero by accident. Yeah, no, I
As Smithy is just sort of looking off, is just sort of like holding his face, like blood covering it, and just hold that stone. He can't speak as it begins to glow.
Okay. Is that his turn or
No, it isn't his turn. I'm just writing this up so I can roll for it. Let's have a look. He disappears.
Okay. Like
Oof.
I'm debating if he's just gone invisible or
Attack the spot.
he's
Sonic clap.
Boom.
I mean,
Where did all this blood come from?
I would still rush over to the area and there.
There seems to be no trace of him anywhere near where like he just was, other than his blood.
Okay. Can I see him, like, looking around, any traces outside of?
Again, roll me a perception.
Okay. Is this at advantage?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. 13.
There is no trace of him other than the blood that he has dropped in the 2-3 places that he was. In the alleyway, just outside the alleyway, and just opposite the alleyway on the other side of the place. You cannot see any trace of him other than those. He does not seem to be anywhere else.
Okay. I will try and get like a building vantage point and start searching, and I will message Ten and Tendra.
Okay. You get up on top of one of the buildings and you begin messaging. As as you send like a message, I'm assuming that your message is just like, trying to attack Smithy. He's gone, can't find him, or something like that.
Yeah, he used like a animite crystal, was it?
Yeah, a power stone to slip away, basically.
Yeah, he can't have gone far.
You then get a message back saying, like, unless if it was a teleportation stone, then in that case he could have gone anywhere.
You know? Either way.
You then just hear like a weird wispy voice going,
"Now that's not very nice. Attacking scientists in the middle of the road."
See in my head.
No, because you turn around and you see a creature that looks very much like Rakia, except from like a little bit more masculine, shorter hair, creepy like smile, like all of its teeth on show, its eyes black just like Rakia's. However, you notice something very weird as it actually has like 2 mouths on either of its shoulders. And it just looks genuinely terrifying in the way in which that it looks.
Just attacking someone in the middle of the road. That's not very nice, is it?
Well, with this tournament going on, I think it's par for the course.
It starts licking its like cheeks with its incredibly creepy long tongue.
Fighting your kind is only a treat. Allowance for destruction is, of course, permitted. Now, Mr. Fatigue, I will be taking you in. After all, the Huskonian laws allow us to take on anyone who is part of the tournament, regardless of whether or not they have attacked another citizen or another contestant. You have caused damage and destruction within our city. I will take your life.
Could I just go for our combo?
Yeah, absolutely you can. Obviously you don't have the new skill combo anymore, but fair.
Which one?
The new skill one. So you don't have that one, but you do still have the other two. So Sonic.
Sonic and Pure Technique.
Yeah, Sonic and Pure Technique. Yeah. Also, you still have the other one, but I'm assuming you don't want to use that.
The final. I was saving that.
Okay, fair enough. So you do hit him.
Okay.
Roll damage.
All right. 104.
Nice. Just having a look, just to make sure what I've got. Wait, hang on a sec. What? 104? Jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't realise what you said until it was too late. Yeah, fair enough. I'm just having a look at this. No, that's
do I need to do it anymore, or?
No, that's fine.
What the hell?
Wait, did Joe get the better roll though? Or is that from a different time?
It's close enough, I'm guessing.
I got a better roll for a reactive attack, but not good enough to not be hit.
Yeah.
Oh, silly Billy. Reacting attack against Phoenix.
Dodge!
Right.
Why don't you dodge?
Yeah. Oh, I can do damage. Do 10 points of damage. Gets head ripped from their shoulders.
They wouldn't
Worth
even,
it.
like.
Well, if they did 10, they'd do like, what, 1 damage to you in total?
No, they wouldn't do any because
they
they
Not
are.
even possibly any. Well, it depends on the damage type. Yeah.
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 Unless it's facial, I don't think it will actually affect them.
As you go to punch them, all like you just suddenly see like it raises up its hands, and you see mouths on its hands as all of the mouths on both of its shoulders and its hands, as well as the mouth on its face, screams this horrible blood-curdling scream as you actually take sonic damage. As you take 41 points, you hit this thing right in its face. You take 41 points of damage. However, you deal 104 points of damage.
That thing, is it still alive or?
Hang on a sec. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. That's 165 health this thing has. So you've done 104. This thing does not have the highest amount of vitality, so I'm going to have to roll disadvantage.
How many is this?
Shoulder.
How
I
many
will,
times?
I will remind you, I rolled a combo.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what I plus to this, but yeah, here we go. Yeah, I got an 8. So yeah, you do actually also cause an injury as you punch this thing in the face. You break its face a bit. As it's your turn again.
Right. I will take the other Sonic combo that I have.
Fair enough.
20 plus.
Finish him!
Natural 1
Cool.
from me. Yeah, I mean, you can roll it, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 112.
Yeah, no, just straight up. You just, I think
Okay.
this
Blood
thing is
spatters
dead.
across the ground.
Now that that's done with,
It sure talked a lot of shit to immediately get
This thing's
pummeled into
head
non-existence.
just explodes off of your fist as you uppercut it. As it just falls to the ground limp, like as if it's just an empty bag.
now that it's dead, I need to get it out of the scene. So I will, start bolting it, start
Fair enough.
searching.
Yeah, fair enough. Roll me move speed.
Okay. That's a d20
Hey.
plus 8. 17.
Yeah, fair enough. You sort of start jumping from building to building. I want to point out that you've lost around about 5. Actually, no. You need to roll me a d10. I just realised because of the damage that you just took.
9. So.
Yeah, so you're straight back up to 50 points. I just have to have a look at this. Oh my gosh. So
My
Felix,
current HP is 160. Just.
yeah.
Should I be rolling perceptions or?
Yes, yeah. Roll perception.
Okay. 31. Or no, wait, sorry. The 18.
You keep having a look around here, there, and everywhere, just side to side to side to side to side, until eventually you do find what you're looking for. A man covered in blood, wearing a now half-blood covered lab coat.
All right. Just
Do we-
as fast as I can, as quick as I can, get down there. Another Sonic Strike combo.
As you
Do
get
we
down there, I want to point
get
out
there
it's very much apparent that he is in the middle of the open street, he is just leaned up against a building.
At this point, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I want you two to roll me a perception to see if you guys can see or hear any of this. Again, Anarche, you're just fine, sort of talking to Pinky again.
Yeah, he's enjoying his day.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. This is a day worth enjoying.
Yeah.
Not even gonna argue, Aldous. You as you're flying, you then just see a huge, blood-covered man just fly up into the sky and then slam back down into the middle of a street. You know who this is.
Oh, there he is. There's Felix.
Oh! Felix up to.
We'll just fly over towards him.
As you begin flying over towards him, I want to point out you're still 100 meters away, as you now see what he is attacking. Felix, it is now your turn.
All right, d20 plus 16, 21. That's a pretty bad roll.
That's not great, but
They are. Did they see me coming?
he definitely
With their-
sees you coming. Yeah.
with the bludgeoning in their face.
As you go to punch him again, he just dips. He just teleports away. Boosh! You hit this building. The entire building just shatters apart again, just beneath your crow fist.
You want me to roll damage for that?
I mean, you don't need to.
Here,
but
here you go,
104.
104.
Thank you.
Oh, it turns out that was the Yeti part, and you just killed like a bunch of baby Yetis.
You punch this building, which I want to point out is a bookstore, as the entire thing just shatters.
No.
And then I want to point out it shatters like as if like a shockwave, like about 2 times the radius of your fist. Opens up a hole, and then the entire bookstore just flies back. It turns into rubble as it just passes off of your fist.
Seeing this, can I stop time so we can get so maybe we can help who's ever in the bookstop?
I mean, you can't because you can't reactively use time when you're not yourself using the time child ability.
True, but whenever it comes to our turn,
as like Felix, like you're just like seeing that as just it's gone. Like the whole thing behind you is just gone.
Yeah. Another perception check then, or
yeah, perception check.
10.
You're looking around. The only thing that you see is now 2 of your party members flying. They're about now 60 meters away.
All right. Well, they don't matter in this scenario.
Wow.
They're not the objective.
As it's
One of
now
them could be.
Fletcher and Aldous' turns.
I'm going to use my advantage roll to do full power time stop.
You don't actually have an advantage roll today because you
Yes, I do. No, this is for the time stone proficiency.
Ooh, okay.
You seem to forget all the power stones I have proficiency for the one practice.
Yes, I do forget that. Yes, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
You do in fact stop time using this stone.
Natural 20, baby.
Yep.
Which means I can
This is
move.
Sweet.
I don't know. I can move very far.
You can move using about, I think it's using about 4 minutes of your time from your time stop. You can move all the way towards Felix.
Yeah, I will go. I'll essentially just go in front of Felix. And
Does this affect me that he's holding on to me?
He's still holding on to you. It's fine that he's moving you. But
Okay.
you can't physically, like, you don't perceive this. Like, to you...
I was just wondering if I'm
No.
just floating in midair. It's like, where did all this go?
no, don't worry. I wouldn't just leave you in midair to fall to your death.
I
Yeah,
was just-
you stop in front of him. What do you do?
I mean, we want to know what's going on,
Okay.
and there's either 2 possibilities: either I stop his powers working, or I use my biology manipulation to stop him in place.
Mm-hmm.
I go use biology manipulation to just try and stop him in place so we can talk to him when time restarts.
I would point when
Oh.
time
Denial.
when time restarts. Okay. Roll me SP.
Right.
What about the bookstore?
Yes, the bookstore.
So you just immediately stop in front of him. You immediately stop in front of him. Ha! And you just, I want to point out, Felix, you see him just appear in front of you, and he just goes, ha! Like that, you know, like, as you see one of the other stones on his like, crown glow, and you're like, the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, because it does not affect you,
happening,
because
Felix?
of denial.
What's happening, Felix? What's going on?
Felix
Why did you
will
attack the
grunt,
bookstore?
and then he will like Hulk jump
How
away.
did I get here?
Yeah, roll strength.
How did I get here?
You said strength.
Yep. Labor, if you have it, to be fair.
Let me check if I have anything in labor. I do not, so it's still just the plus 16.
Fair enough.
I thought I had a single penny.
Yeah, you just launch yourself over, and you just keep going off in a direction.
Another perception check, or
Yes, another perception check.
a 13?
How many people are dead or dying now in the bookstore?
The bookstore looks kind of like, just an apocalyptic wasteland at this point. Like, it doesn't look like anything survived, and if something has survived, you can't see it. under all of the rubble and the books.
Surely, like, all the other surrounding buildings have, like, been destroyed by the shrapnel of the library as well.
The one behind it is rather badly damaged, but everything else is fine because the circumference doesn't go out in any other direction except from forward or from his fist.
Yeah.
I'll just drop me here and he just look for survivors.
Exactly. They need. But what if he hurts more people? Do you want to go follow me? Might listen to you. I'll try and help whoever's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any times he's been punched out?
is there any nature around here?
You.
There is not any. There is not. Well, there are books. If you have chloromancy, you can use that.
Yes, thank you, God. I can.
Because I was going to say,
So
there's not
many
necessarily any plants, but thanks to books.
Books. Listen to your new leader. I will. Can I essentially manipulate the books to remove the rubble? Because I'm assuming they'd have super strength if I roll 15.
I want to point out it's less that you can control the books; it's more that you force the books to start growing plant life out of them. It would ruin the books forever, but you could do that.
Well, who cares about books when lives are at stake?
Exactly. I mean, who cares about knowledge permanently being lost?
Exactly. It's a bookstore. They have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I need.
There's always copies of books, and if there aren't, that's their problem.
That's their fault. You begin making it like within your radius of like the things, so the books begin to like grow plant life and foliage off of them to like push rubble up and stuff like that. We come now to Felix. Felix, you got a 13 as you sort of like looking around as you suddenly just hear like you slam down into the ground, still looking around. And you go, just a voice going, "You all right there, Felix?"
Who's talking to me this time?
As you look around, you see Fletcher. You see Fergus. Fergus. You see Fergus in his usual attire, just like leaning on a trash bin. Like, yeah, you're all right there, Felix.
A bit busy.
Yeah, killing what I can only assume is Dr. Smithy, right?
Correct.
Never really trusted that guy. And again, he doesn't really trust many people either. How can I help you?
Do you think you could locate him for me, and if possible, hold the place?
Oh, top dog. As a matter of fact, I've already located him, but it'll cost you.
Of course.
Very well. I'll know my price later. But yeah, I know exactly where the little bastard went off to. But he's got that bloody stone, so you'll probably need my help to get it.
Felix nods.
What if you agree to?
Very well. Alright then, mate. I'll give you a hand. Oh, and also, Fletcher's on his way. I'm assuming that you don't want his help.
It matters a little.
Very well. In that case, I should probably give you this, just so that you can, well, understand what you're looking for. He then, grabs a gem of animite. One of his tattoos glows, snaps his fingers, and the animite gem just begins, levitating in front of you. Oi! Now listen here. You're following Felix now. Show him to where the gem is. Right? Good. Right. You best follow it, mate, as it then begins zooming off.
Yep. I will. Very as quick as I can.
As Fletcher, roll move speed, which I'm going to allow you to add your, your face swimming distance with.
You want me to also do move speed, or?
You don't have to just yet, because I'm going to say that you've already left before he gets to this point.
Cool.
19.
You sort of catch up fast enough to be able to actually see him leaving, and as you try to go further, you then hit your face against what seems to be solid matter, which is weird because there's nothing there. And also, you're supposed to be intangible right now. As you then just hear just a mocking laugh, just going, "Hello, Fletcher. I see that you've got a new eye."
Oh, Fergus! What is it now? I'm trying to catch up with Felix.
I see that, but I'm afraid that I'm going to have to step in the way.
Why? What's wrong? You might need my help.
I think that he's got this for now. I'll be your little sparring partner for the time being, though, if you really wish.
Okay. Maybe I can avenge a king.
Avenge a king? Hey, now, we don't want that.
I know. Ricky Victor.
Yeah? I don't know what you're talking about. But if you want to bring back something from the old past, how about this, mate? As he then, waves his hands and then a portal opens up. As then something steps out from beyond it. I want you to roll me either a nerve or a history. It's up to you.
Let's go with nerve.
Okay.
11.
Horror grips your heart and you try to keep it under wraps, but you see a face that you were kind of hoping never to see again. As this thing appears out of it, sort of crumpled, covered in scars that have clearly been sort of necrotized over, stitched, and sort of jankily put back together. It's Dave, the guy who you saw on the boat, another one of the prior contestants. The guy who is a family man and who also had copying.
Gotta love all these family men.
Oh, you sick monster.
That's the deal, mate. Now you're getting it.
Oh.
Hey, don't look at me. It was your missus who gave me the name.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave.
As this is where we shall end our session.
I like to imagine Racky's just been playing with Felix's kids this entire session, just hanging out with the family, playing dolls.
Can I, Joe? Next week, can you say that I've just fixed the book? I've made sure that everyone's alive in the bookshop.
I'm saying I'll be. What I'm going to say is that you will be fixing. I'm not going to say that you've fixed. I'm going to say you'll be fixing and helping.
Oh yeah.
Oh, by the way, Joe, how many points did I get for killing?
I can tell you that momentarily.
All good.
I need to do the rolls for that, but yes.
Do you know off the top of your head how many things I have? How many milestones? Because I didn't because I forget what it is and I have to count it now.
I believe it's still 16 because I don't think you've leveled up yourself in any way.
So it'd be 107.
770 every time, yeah.
Yeah.
I also have a stupid and dark question.
Okay.
Given that many people might have died in that library, do I get points for their deaths?
Oh God, Felix, come on!
This isn't Felix talking. This is
kind of dark side.
To be fair, it was not intentional.
It wasn't intentional.
It was accidental.
It was kind of directly by my hands.
It was.
So, however you want to do that.
Technically, half points would make sense then, if you are going to give him anything. Because it's technically still a murder.
I'm happy with any amount of points. It can even be 0 points. You just gotta let me know.
To put it this way, I
mean, it's a good question, isn't it?
It is. However,
that punch was meant to kill, and it did kill.
How do I put it this way? Although it was definitely meant to kill, it's also one of those things where it's it was not meant to kill all those people.
Yeah. Again, I can accept that. If you don't want to give me points, that's fine. I understand.
I will be giving you points for the individual that you defeated, though. But
yeah, I know you can't weasel your way out of that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I honestly thought that they were going to survive a little bit longer than just 2 hits, but then again, I also didn't think that they'd be fighting you 1v1. So you know.
The average amount of damage that move does is 68.
Yeah, and that's really quite hilariously lowballing it. But yes, thank you very much for everyone for listening. If you want to have a look at more content, please check us out on Animite Tales on YouTube. At me on Twitter for as long as Twitter will be alive. If the God of War reference doesn't date that, this probably will. Thank you very much for listening, and as always, have a wonderful night. Please check out the Animite Tales website if you want to get in and play some of this kind of game yourself, if you are a tabletop RPG fan. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Podcast out!